Here's the thing, PB. Speaking of untuckered, I was not tuckered out when I was watching The Punisher One Last Kill last night. I'm going to start with that because it's the shortest, but I've got some big complaints that have nothing to do with the current iteration of Punisher, but what I felt they were doing, which is redundant. But I also have a lot of good things to say about it. And the boys, I'm also a lot of good things, a lot of things where I was like, why are we doing this on the penultimate episode? I don't know if you felt the same way. Yeah, I have some gripes. Now, look, I'm going to say minor gripes. I want to point out some ridiculous things when we get to it that I've been hearing around the internet, of course, because the internet is so great. And especially people talking about the shows and how objective they are, man. The objective takes I've heard on this show are fucking insane. And I mean that by they're not objective. I have no clue. The internet is a funny place, PB. It's a funny place. And the fact that we like the fact we do reviews and things like that, it's really interesting to talk to normal people and hear what they think. And then because we're on the internet so long, doesn't it seem like there's so many people with stupid takes? But then, like, if you talk to someone, like, you bring it up, like, I'm not going to use this show because it just came out. But, like, if someone saw this and, like, hey, what do you think of the Punisher show? They'd be like, fucking awesome, man. See, me and you know the lore, though. And then you go around the circles of the internet that know the different things, like maybe the Netflix iteration, not so much you. They pulled a lot of Netflix. I would almost say this story is more closer to the end of season 2 of the Punisher Netflix show than it is of Daredevil or anything else Marvel's done. So that was interesting. But yeah, let's just jump into it. I'm going to start with a really big negative I had with this. And you know me, I love the Punisher. I've been trying to get you to watch that fucking show forever. Hopefully you will. And I love Jon Bernthal as the Punisher, but I have a really serious problem. And it's the same problem, and it feels like Disney and Marvel's ability or their fear of having him wear his fucking costume. Like, what costume hero do you know spends as much of their fucking like screen time, let's say, as the Punisher out of his iconic costume? And I know there's the bullshit with the cops and people idolizing it or whatever else. And I feel like I'm just putting my tinfoil cowboy hat on for a second, that they are scared to have his iconic costume on for more than a couple of seconds because they're worried about people are going to imitate it. It's going to give us bad image. You did a whole fucking R-rated special, and you did a Daredevil R-rated show where you weren't really worried about what people were saying there with the Disney branding. So why in this third thing Punisher's been in, we get like 5 minutes, if that, of him in his iconic costume? Now, does this bug you? Because I feel like this
it didn't bug me so much because I feel like it was because of the story they were telling. Because where you start the special, let's call it, is essentially him contemplating either retirement or killing himself.
That's second problem number 2 before you continue with your thought. We've done this arc for you in Daredevil. For me, 3 times. Twice in season 1 and 2 of the Netflix.
I wouldn't say that we did an actual arc of the Punisher.
They did a full fucking arc. If you count the Netflix, literally season 1 was the whole thing.
How many episodes is he even in?
13 per season, so it's 26.
No, in the Punisher or in Daredevil season 1, you said we did the Punisher arc. I thought he was only in 1 episode.
No, he was in 2, but he did the whole I'm not going to help you. And then he puts on the suit. And then he faces the cops with the suit. And he's like, well, this is me, blah, blah, blah. It's the same story. So
then he's just a typical woman who can't make up his mind.
Another issue.
That won't get us any hate.
Another issue. And this is going to... maybe I'm just overtaking this, but his version of Punisher does a lot of crying, man. A lot of crying. OG Frank, and you want to go back to the 90s and do the animated series, any of that. Not a lot of crime from Punisher. Reflects, gets angry. He breaks down quite a bit, and I know because Bitchy watched this with me too. She was more in for the violence than what was going on past the street stuff. But that's my other issue. Like, don't get me wrong, Jon Bernthal, fucking amazing actor, and I like his kind of rage stuff.
He does have quite the guttural scream.
Oh, well, I don't think there's anybody who could hit that. He's got that famous meme for a reason where he's like, that's from Punisher season 1, episode 6. He's like, no. That is, so he's got some iconic lines. The thing that pisses me off, but this is probably more me and not you, is that I've seen these arcs already, and it feels like they are terrified to move his character forward in his iconic suit, killing
him forward. So you're telling me, for all of his show and all of the other shows that he's in, Daredevil, Defenders, whatever, and then New Daredevil, and all of these, he spends more time not in the Punisher costume killing people than because it doesn't count, I wouldn't say, if he's just like chilling, having a conversation with somebody. I don't need him to necessarily be in the costume then. But if he's going around doing the action, like if you split this episode in half, the first half is exposition to get us to where we're at, and the second half is action. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Right, but the second half being action, he's not in the Punisher costume for, 95% of it?
Yeah. So, and just I'll send you a link after we get done with talking about Punisher. It won't be long.
So is this family that he had taken out, was that in his TV show or what?
No, that was in the comic book. They ripped the story.
So you're telling me that this family that he took out was completely done off screen?
For this universe, for cinematic, yeah.
For this one lone fucking special.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they did a relatively good job of getting you up to speed without showing you anything that looks like it would have made for a great season or 2 or 5 of television.
Okay, so
like they really sped it along. They're like, oh, he took down this crime family, and I was like, that would have been fun to see.
And in his suit, because all of the flashbacks, this is what I'm saying, and maybe it's a little nitpick, and it's like you with the door and the Mandalorian, but Punisher is up there for me with Captain America, probably number 2 of my favorites as far as Marvel superheroes, because of the fact of how he is. And he takes out bad people, but he is directly in conflict with every Marvel hero in the Marvel universe.
Even Deadpool?
Well, Deadpool and Frank interact a few times, but I think they're more in line. Punisher just doesn't like him because of his mouth. But their ideals line up, so they just kind of like go whatever to each other. But I know it's like a stupid, silly gripe, and anybody who isn't on the Netflix thing or whatever, still I think it's an issue because you see those seasons of Daredevil, right? And he's not donning the suit until the very, very last episodes, and you only get because it's focused on Daredevil, obviously his show, you get only minutes, or I could probably clock if I watched everything and broke it down into how many minutes he's in the fucking suit. And it drives me nuts because every Marvel character is pretty much in their suit.
What's up? Justin is in the chat. Daredevil. Justin is in, well, at least Justin was in the chat. Justin, you just watched the new episode of The Boys. Are you going to join the stream when we get to that? Answer me, Justin. Are you eating fucking ravioli?
I'm eating chicken noodle soup.
Oh. You're eating chicken noodle soup with a fork?
Yeah. It's the big kind.
You're eating soup with a fork.
It's the big noodles and the big beef. You can't get
I
that.
don't fucking care. It comes in a broth, you psychopath.
I told you I'm a villain.
Who the fuck eats soup with a goddamn fork?
Kryptonians.
Like, I would have been okay if you'd have been like, oh, it's a bowl of chili. Like, as long as it's a thick chili, you could eat it with a fork. But how? Holy fuck, man. I used to have some respect for you, but learning this new information and lore of the fandom zone has just pulled all of it away.
I mean, come on. We got to keep the bar low here. I've been getting too good. You know,
you're not keeping the bar low. You're keeping the bar retarded. What is up with the fucking The Boys 57, The Frenchman, The Female, The Punisher, One Last Kill? What the fuck?
Oh,
that's the title?
That's The Boys 7. I don't know where the 5 came from.
No, it says The Boys Season 5, 7.
Episode 7, but I had to shorten it so that I can fit it all in the title thing.
So then,
and I also had to cut out
S5 E7. That's what you do. S5 E7.
It would have went over because the title.
No, it wouldn't have.
Yeah, it did because I put it that way.
Then take one of your fucking commas out.
I can't do that. Because
I like this episode. Well, I guess not really this special of The Punisher. It's good shit.
Okay, so here's my thing. That really big, I had to get my negative, and it did drop it down.
Oh, you want to know what my biggest negative is on this episode?
Go ahead, because we'll see if I'm still hovering at just a point deduction.
For as much as I like the action scene, because I'm just going to call it one massive fucking action scene.
It's like 20 minutes.
Right. It pops off and then don't stop popping off until he, rescues that family, I guess?
Yeah.
It seems incredibly too convenient that the people who are attacking him when he doesn't have any guns don't have any guns. And then once he gets some guns, then the people attacking him have the gun. Like, there's always the one transition. Like, the guy shows up with the shotgun, and he's in too close quarter combat. Boom, punches him, takes the fucking shotgun, starts shooting people, and all the people that he's shooting has guns. But all the people that showed up before that had, what, a baseball bat, an axe. The axe thing was pretty cool. Like, the action was cool, but the convenience of it, of why is not I understand not everyone has a gun, but there needs to be a modicum of coordination. Like, oh, he's punching that guy, I'm going to shoot now. I don't care if I kill the guy that he's punching because I ain't working with him, but I need to kill Frank.
I mean, now that you bring it up, I didn't notice that until you said something, so that's a good point.
That's the only thing
I would deduct from that, because
being that the Punisher is designed to be out there essentially killing people, like that seems to be his major goal in life.
Killing
I didn't like the fact that he started with 0 weapons. It's like, okay, he's retired. So when you retire as a superhero, does Batman be like, you know what, guys? I'm not going to be Batman anymore, so I'm just going to start selling off everything in the cave. I'm not doing it. I don't need it. It's just taking up space down there.
Okay, so that was my problem number 2. So this is my second point deduction.
Was that he doesn't have any weapons?
The weapons are there, PB. But remember, he locked them and put them in the trunk in the place where it was set on fire with the whole get up, and he put the key by the grave so he couldn't get into them. Now, I don't think his apartment building, the whole thing was on fire because he still got the weapons at the end. But that was also my nitpick, was that and it goes back to the costume thing we just talked about, which is now makes my point, which will, because my score was already in my head by the time we did this. I was either going to be talked up or down, but it looks like I'm sitting at a comfortable score in my mind. But anyways, I felt like they did that. Like, I get the whole emotional thing. Like, yeah, I'm going to go back and get the key from the grave and continue my mission or whatever. It's to the story. But it felt like a very cheap way for him not to wear the suit where the guns were. You like, remember that scene? You watch him put all these guns away. He's got the key, and in that, underneath the guns in the chest is his suit. And it's okay, PB. Maybe it's just me because now I know how you feel about that fucking door in The Mandalorian. I'm gonna give you less shit about that. But this is just like this, like. But can you see what I'm saying? It felt like everything's designed for him not to wear the fucking iconic fucking suit until the end of the show, and then by then we only get one kill as him.
I mean,
officially,
if I was in your position, I feel like it would frustrate me too, because it's like, okay, we did the story of him like becoming the Punisher. Like, he's out there killing people. He's not the Punisher yet. Boom, he becomes the Punisher. If I had to watch that 3 times, I'd be like, fucking A, man. We're already at the point where he's had the costume on. Can we just continue from there?
And it's so easy.
It doesn't frustrate me because I haven't watched it.
10 minutes, PB. They didn't. Okay, you could. This is my fix that would dramatically bump this up for me. You could have all of the stuff in the beginning, right? And then once he gets to kickoff, the easiest fix is he's like, oh no, I got to get my gear because shit is going down. Open the trunk up.
Shit is going down. What is up, man?
What up? How's it going?
Pretty damn
I'm just
good.
getting my annoyance out of the way here, but finishing my
Well,
thought
I was
really.
pissed off. They keep doing essentially Punisher origin.
Yeah, this is 3 fucking times, man. 3, and it's like Disney is scared because of the implication. Like, this is just my tinfoil hat theory. I'm still sticking with Disney is scared of giving the Punisher his look because of all the outside bullshit and all of the things going on. But here's the thing: normal people don't give a fuck about that. Punisher's identified by the fucking the fucking skull on his bulletproof vest. Any other fucking bulletproof vest is just a fucking bulletproof vest. But once you put the fucking skull on it, and he's got the knives, and he's got the fucking guns, you go, oh, yeah, that's the Punisher. Not like Frank taking a walk. Now he's in his fucking hoodie. I've seen Frank fucking Castle in his fucking hoodie more than anybody, like, ever. It's ridiculous. Like, it reminds me of why they changed Daredevil to getting his suit in the beginning, because when you watch Daredevil, you're not watching Matt Murdock, you want to watch Daredevil. That was the whole reason for them rejiggering the whole thing.
There was a lot of people that were upset that they're like, I want to see Matt Murdock in the courtroom more, and I was like, the show isn't called Matt Murdock, sorry.
And look, the Netflix show balanced the court case of the week with that, but we're not on Netflix, and we got different writers.
There was a court case every fucking week.
No, there was 1 or 2 major cases that intertwined with the story. So you got Matt in the court a little bit, and then you got him fucking people up, and then you got him in the court a little bit, and then fucking people up. That's what I think they mean. Like, consistently, there was something with that, but you're at a point where Matt can't be the lawyer, and there's storylines like this. Like, that's the whole struggle of Daredevil. Is he Daredevil or is he Matt Murdock? Does he get justice by the court and the broken law system, or does he get it by his fists and, putting himself on the line? That's literally the point of the show. But anyways, with Punisher, you have none of that. Punisher kills people. That's how him and Matt have the greatest episodes in Daredevil season 2 of the Netflix show, where they have one of the best episodes is them on a rooftop talking about their philosophical differences between killing and not killing. And there's a great line where Jon Bernthal is like, Red, all you do, you put them in a hospital, and then they get up and they do what? They go, they rape, they murder, they kill. He goes, I put someone down, they stay down. And Matt's kind of like, well, shit, he's not wrong. Like, all of the debates they have, you could see both sides. So with that being said, My biggest issue is Disney's unwillingness to commit to the fact that they're trying to make him really layered, but at the end of the day, we all like Frank Castle, but he's a borderline fucking sociopath. That's who he is. The military broke him. His family dying broke him. All the shit he's been through broke him. And he's not a good guy. He's not a fucking hero. And that's okay. You could have someone who just fucking murders people and they're not a hero, but they have good intentions. That's the point. But Disney, like, even the fucking Nucci scene, this was my other big nitpick too. That was my other point of deduction. When she comes, they try to play this scene, and Bitchy was watching this with me because she said, I'm confused because they try to play it like these guys were good guys and he just took the life of these people. And it's like, the youngest Nucci, which they left out of this.
I feel like the way that they set that up was that it was supposed to be like a reveal. Like she's like, you killed my family, blah, 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 blah. And then you find out at the end of her whole spiel, because you're supposed to be feeling bad for her. It's like, oh, your family was a bunch of villains, crime bosses that I ended up killing. Now, to be fair, he curb stomped that boy.
Okay, but to be fair,
they didn't show it, but he 100% curb stomped that motherfucker.
Dude, but to be fair, in the lore, the youngest was the worst because the youngest had
is always the worst in that scenario.
Yeah, so it's like, what are they trying to do? They're trying to make a dilemma where it's like, oh, we should also feel bad for the victims, and
you're not. You're looking too far into it.
That's how I feel like they presented it.
You were supposed to feel bad for the mother in that moment until you find out who it is. And then you're like, oh, well.
I feel like, okay, I feel like we could interpret it two different ways, but they don't specifically.
Well, yeah, we can do it two different ways. We can do it my way, the correct way, or your way, the incorrect way.
No, because.
Thank you, Justin. Yeah, guys, I think you're gonna end it there. That was it.
But the point being,
what I didn't like about that scene was how almost stupid, like not entirely stupid, because I understand you want to have this emotional moment, but to be like, hey, I got my big ass fucking bodyguard here, you're unarmed, and we're standing 20 feet away from each other.
What the hell kind of couch is that, Zod? Like, what the?
That's a chair.
That girly looking chair.
It's a makeup chair.
Clearly.
That was. Bitchy does her makeup here. Look, can we just fucking move on?
Unfortunately, I'm sitting here listening to this superhero crap that you don't like when we could be moving on to this other superhero crap that I actually watched.
No. First off, I do like it. We're just pointing out the positives and the negatives. Secondly, that's why I said
all I heard was bitching like the whole time.
Okay, well, let us finish because we still got.
I know.
Okay, so, but on the positive sides, I do think
you started with it. Okay, you started with the negatives. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the positives, the action, besides that one negative you made, the action for the most part was fucking phenomenal. Some of the kills were so fucking goddamn brutal. The dude with the snapped arm really
Oh, that was rough.
Oh yeah, and the big guy. Even Bitchy was watching. She goes, "Oh," because she thought he was gonna grab the chain, which is what I thought,
and choke him.
She was yelling. Yeah, she was yelling, "Oh, grab the chain and choke him!" And then no, he did. He fucking stabbed him, then grabbed the chain and choked him, and then stabbed him 50 fucking billion times with a pen, which was just great.
That was a pen.
Yeah, it was a pen. Jesus. That he grabbed from the cup with the pencils and pens. I thought they were gonna do a John Wick and he was gonna pull a pencil. That would have been a little funny, like, nod. But no, he grabbed a pen and he like. Yeah, I was like,
well, he just stabbed him in a bunch of crucial spots.
Oh yeah, that was great. I love once again Jon Bernthal. I think is like the highlight. Like this dude is Punisher. Which is why I don't think you could get anybody else ever to play Punisher. And his physique is fucking nuts.
I think there are a couple. I would watch Henry Cavill be the Punisher.
I don't think he can pull it off. I'm sorry. I don't think he's got the he doesn't got the guttural yell.
How do you know?
Because I've heard him yell in Man of Steel, and that is not guttural.
Oh my god! I'm sure they said, "Give us the only type of yell that you can," and that was what it was. I'm sure that was what the direction was in that movie.
It was Zack Snyder. We can't.
He's a moron.
We can't put anything past Zack.
He needs to stick to original projects, that motherfucker.
And so, yeah, but all in all, it was good for a short. I will say I will like this better if they make him the Punisher. It wasn't a short guy.
It was like 50-some minutes.
Nah, like a little bit short. It was like 5 minutes of fucking end credits. I know because it's.
I know that's why I said it was like 50 minutes.
What's the runtime supposedly on it?
I don't know. You want me to double check so we can be correct? I can double the checks.
I can guarantee you it felt like maybe 45 minutes altogether tops.
Okay, so the whole you're probably right. It's probably 45 because it's just over 50 with the total runtime.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So
either way, it's not a short.
It feels like a short film, like one of those YouTube short movies.
I mean, it is,
which is great.
Show, right?
Say that again.
It's an episode of a show. It's not supposed to be 2 hours long.
No, it is. It's like a one-shot special.
Yeah, it's
it's shot in one take.
No.
Like it's like
a one-off type thing, like all those other Marvel one-shots,
side quest episodes,
basically. Yeah. So
I don't like those. I never enjoyed those. Like
I like the Marvel one-shots, but all of them are meant to be like a short story, so they're all like 5-10 minutes. Whereas this, they call it a one-shot, but it's 45 minutes long,
which is basically an episode of television. Really, it's longer than it is exactly one episode, and it feels that way too. And so, as much as I love this and I love Jon Bernthal's performance, I still think this is disappointing because of the one thing I can't get over, which is the goddamn suit. It's like, we've done this, even if newer people, you set everybody up. I get this is supposed to be separate because this does not really connect it to Daredevil Born Again. You don't have to see it to watch this. You do maybe have to watch the Netflix shows because the characters they had talking to him died in those shows, and the relevance is super important. So they connected it more to season 2 of Punisher than they did to Daredevil, which was a really fucking weird choice. And if we're connecting it that way, then Frank should be in fucking full Punisher mode. So for that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I still enjoyed it, but I couldn't get past the suit, and I couldn't get past some of the illogical shit, like that stuff too. Like, not killing the lady in the wheelchair was so ridiculous to me.
That scene kind of pissed me off. It's probably the one that pissed me off the most, where she gives this whole spiel about, I'm going to have every fucking thug in the neighborhood after your ass, and somebody's going to fucking kill you, and I'm going to fucking watch. And then he makes it out onto the street, and she's sitting there in the wheelchair, and she leaves. And I was like,
and rolls away. We're
still killing people here. Like, what are you leaving for? Like, you ain't got nothing left to lose. I thought the whole point was either one of these thugs is going to kill you, or you're going to end up killing me. She just leaves.
Yeah, and I feel like that was kind of ridiculous. The next project is Brand New Day, and I'm glad he's actually in the Punisher gear, and he's got the iconic truck they showed in the trailer.
We'll see if that connects to this, like, at all, like if they're going to reference it, if there'll even be an Easter egg, because I feel like there isn't going to be.
No, me neither. I feel like it's just throwing them in here.
Spider-Man don't come out until July?
Yeah.
There's a big wait, and Marvel ain't got nothing coming out in between?
maybe it's a good thing because they're focusing on these projects. I mean, honestly, the newer Marvel stuff hasn't been
we
bad.
watched Daredevil. Where does this take place in relation to Daredevil?
Absolutely nowhere that I can see.
Like, does it happen before season 2? Does it happen after season 2? Does it happen during season 2? That's all I need to know.
And I looked this up too, and a lot of people are saying that this is a separate thing. Like it might be a couple years after season 2, but there's no confirmation. So
okay, well then I got to know where it takes place. Like I presume it takes place before Spider-Man.
I mean, it's got to because now he's got the suit. We're gonna see him in Spider-Man. Hey,
Jeremy,
what's up? Yes, it is.
Did you watch The Punisher? Did you watch The Boys? Tell us.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. I thought it was solid. It's above average. It's entertaining. I'll watch it again. That just pisses me off with the suit and some of the choices. I feel like this should have been an actual like mini movie just for Disney where we flesh it out, see him kill that rolling bitch in the Punisher suit, maybe see him doing Punisher things would have been nice.
Like I am curious a little bit of the like I typically don't care about behind the scenes, but in this instance, like why did they decide to make an episode of the Punisher? Like what is
maybe they're testing it to see if people like what the numbers are to see if people are like,
because
yeah, I want to see more.
From the look of it, it seems like they spent a pretty penny to make it. Like there weren't any massive things, but there was some fucking they were fucking some shit up.
And there were some great like the minus your gripes because I understand it. That's more of a stunt technical thing, not a technical on the show. The fight scenes were technically great. I'd say the 20-minute fight was better than most of the stuff in Born Again season.
Well, it just makes you wonder, okay, with the length of it, you have to double the length of the runtime in order to make it a feature film. Why didn't we just do that? You couldn't have put some cheaper stuff in there. Like, so we're not going over budget and we can just make a whole movie out of it. And the movie doesn't have to come out in theaters. You can still just have it out on Disney Plus.
And here's what they could have done too. If they did the movie, we could have got him like bookending, which I think would have made it flow better and made my rating higher. You could have got him killing the Nucci's as the Punisher and then doing his whole, he's not going to do it, which I would have been like, okay, I got to see him. And then the last end of the movie, you can have him killing a bunch of people and the lady as the Punisher again. And in the middle, still have the same story you did. And I think that fixes the problem. At least.
But I feel like they started with something nobody knew anything about as far as on TV. Like nobody knew about this Nucci family at all from
source
TV.
Material.
That's not my point, guy. I'm saying they made a self-contained story that didn't have a hard beginning and didn't have a hard ending. Like now he's just continuing on being the Punisher.
Yeah,
and it's not like it was an origin story because he had already been the Punisher for who knows how long. Because that's the whole reason that we are doing what we're doing in this fucking episode,
and that's why it's a.
Which is why I give it a 7.
Wow. Okay, we were both on the same rating.
Well, I was a little higher. You talked me down.
Yeah, because
I like it, but I don't love it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I'll watch it again, like the Guardian special and the Vampire by Night or Werewolf by Night. That one I've watched a couple of times. I watched it in color and black and white. I like the black and white better, because it's unique. But like, it's just one of those things they could have did so much more. And I feel like Frank's always getting fucked over. So. Yeah, with that being said...
I thought he was going to get it from Karen, but she wasn't really there. Does he have a tumor?
No, it's... So, this is explained...
Why does he have all these fucking...
It's explained
hallucinations.
In Netflix, they explain this.
Just give me the short version.
Basically, he can remember anything, which is a gift or a curse. He
wasn't remembering anything. He was...
No, he can recall...
Page. And what was ridiculous, it's like, how are you going to picture Karen Page like that and she's fully clothed? That's fucked up.
I know that pissed me off too. But no, he carries everything, and he can conjure a person's memory like extremely well, and it's why he was good at what he does. So the ghost he carries literally takes the shape of the person, and he can have conversations. Now you can call him fucking psychotic, which he is, but it's also the way his brain works. It's why it makes him good at what he does. But it's also the
Because
negative.
he hallucinates stuff.
It's not hallucinations.
It is
I forget
100% a fucking hallucination. If he
No,
had
it
to
has to
say to her, "Are you actually here?" and she's just, "Yes, I am," and I was like, "Oh shit, she is actually there." And then she goes, "I'm always with you," and I was like, "Oh fuck, she ain't actually there."
No, there's things with the minds, especially people with photographic memories. They can recall people perfectly, and even can have full conversations if they aren't mentally stable, like Frank isn't. So no, he's just
Like, I can
recalling.
picture somebody standing in a room. This is different.
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't describe it. It's better described in the comics. They show panels and stuff, but his mind, the way it works, it's like they show a part where he's reading a map and then he conjures it and then he sees it outlined like it's there, or they're moving through the map. So that's the kind of memory he has, which is both good and bad because, like I said, he can recall everything to a T.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that you can save 15% on moviepalette.com when you put in code ZONE15 to get an excellent piece of artwork on premium canvas.
Guaranteed to arrive before Christmas if you order now.
You know, help the villain, blah blah blah. You know, all the other things.
Okay, so let's
subscribe, hype, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, hype, right to your local congressman.
Definitely do that. If you can get us up on the TV in Congress, fucking A, man.
Will be more entertaining. Anyways, let's get to the boys now. I'm gonna go to Justin because he's been waiting so patiently and get his thoughts on Justin, tell me your thoughts on the season, and then when you get to this episode, like, have you gotten more hyped? Have you gotten less hyped? Good, bad, all that stuff, because I know you've been catching up.
As this season has gone on, I have become less and less engaged by each passing episode. Because it feels like both myself and the show wants to be just done and over with. And I kind of want it to be done and over with. This is probably the least exciting season, and it shouldn't be because it's the last one. It just took too much of its good old time to get anything going. With this particular episode, I was kind of hoping we'd have some characters die, and we did. And well,
Frenchie's a huge character, PB. He's been there.
He's
like one of the main characters. He's been there
but it felt a little underwhelming, just a little bit. Like, really, you couldn't fit inside the little vault. He's a skinny little guy. You could fit him in there. And then Homelander would just be like, "Oh, okay, I guess no one's here. Bye," and then just shoot off. No, he had this whole dramatic thing where he turned on the. I have a big problem with that. By the way.
Oh, yeah, that's my biggest problem.
Yeah. Okay. So there's this room that's set up like it's like a uranium thing or whatever that it's being put into Kimiko time and time again to give her the same sort of powers as Soldier Boy, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. But then they just casually open up the door, and then everyone's just fine, even though they're exposed to this radiation. I
don't entirely understand how it works, because when stuff gets irradiated, the stuff around it is full. Like, I can't touch the metal inside the room because the metal inside the room irradiated. I don't know. We've got more radiation than the people that are in there, I assume. Like, everything in there is full of radiation, and just going into the room is going to burn you as a human.
Yeah, and everyone comes out unscathed. Even like, even just opening the door, they're just standing right by it. I'm like, how are you guys not burning? Does it have a really quick cooldown period and just disappears? I don't know how this thing works, but anyway, I didn't really. I still don't understand what they're trying to do with Kimiko or whatever, but clearly it didn't work, or because, well, she's just the same. She's already a superhero. I don't understand what the purpose is. Maybe I'm missing something, but
well, in the episode, they do explain a little bit that Soldier Boy did not have the, let's call it, beam weapon coming out of his chest when he initially got his powers. He got it from the torture that he was receiving from the communists. So they think, right, they think that they could do the same thing to Kimiko. I don't see why you would think that, considering they don't have the same V in their blood, but...
Okay,
yeah,
so I want
to... Also on top of that, it took him... I think they addressed this in the show. It took Soldier Boy, like, years, decades of torture to get to that level, right? And then they're supposed to do it in, what, a week? No.
I just want to address this because besides the one thing there, with the mutation, that is a plot hole too, because they said in a prior episode that even if somebody gets a mutation, it's not guaranteed that like they'll get Soldier Boy's thing. So that's a bigger plot thing, because a secondary mutation could mean anything. She could just grow another fucking arm or have even greater healing and super speed. So to your guys' point, it kind of doesn't make sense because, like PB said, people's genetics are different. Soldier Boy got that as a predisposition to his own genetics and the V that they gave him. The mutation, the secondary mutation, is his own, I assume, the beam. I don't think it works like everybody who had this V that got radiated would get that ability. So once again, I'm inclined to agree with your two guys' assessment. It feels very rushed. Continue proper. I just wanted to say that while I was in my...
maybe we should backtrack to the beginning. We start off in the Oval Office, and Homelander's just chilling there like he owns the place. Okay.
That's ripped from the comics. It had, for me, it just had no point other than doing a reference to the comics, because that's literally a scene straight out of the comic with Homelander with his feet up on the...
Sure, I suppose.
No, that is. It is. Like, if you rip it side by side, someone even did a comparison. It's literally a homage to the
That's comic. Okay, we're reviewing the TV show.
Sure.
I'm saying it's a homage.
Yeah,
clearly that's what they put in there.
All right. I didn't read the comics. That doesn't do much for me in the context of just the show. I have no context of the comic books. That's how I use these sort of shows. Look, it's a miracle that I'm even watching something that has superheroes in it. let's just keep that straight. But oh yeah, he just kills the president, just like that. Okay, cool, great, all right, head smash, love it, gore. We've seen it a million times, but yeah, why couldn't he do this earlier? It's my question.
Right? Why? Like, yeah.
Why do you wait until this now? Where is the Secret Service? Where is like anybody else in the White House? Where are they? I have no clue. And now the redhead with the two heads is now the president, and she never has a moment to sink in or anything. Doesn't say anything. There's no announcement that the president's dead. Like, that should be a big fucking deal to the entire country. But no, we're not even focusing on that at all. That's a little odd to me. What do you guys think of that whole sequence? Like, Homelander's doing his whole speech about loyalty and I'm God, and we already knew he had an ego and complex as is. What was this going to prove? Like, what new thing were we going to get exactly? I don't know.
I mean, it was, I don't know if it was there to prove anything, but that was like the first step. It was the foreshadowing of what was going to happen in the group later on. Like, Homelander's gone past the people, like, you can say that you believe in him all you want, but unless you actually believe that he is going to kill you. And then
Right.
when they do the focus group later on, the fact that it's 20% of people, let's say, believe Homelander, like, if we take that straight up, 20, he's going to kill 80% of the people on the planet. That was what I got from that. And that was just like the lead up, so that you're not expecting him to not be psychotic. Like, they're doing the anti Daenerys, where it's like, you know, she's all about taking care of people, and then all of a sudden she burns the fucking city down. Like, that wasn't going to happen in this because of what they had foreshadowed leading up to it.
No, and that makes sense. I did kind of.
But I didn't get. I expected that the president was going to get killed at some point, anyways, and it was underwhelming. And now you have to bring somebody in there to clean the carpet. So. Yeah.
I don't know what this. Yeah, and I also didn't understand. Oh, go ahead, Sly.
For me, I just want to reference something. And I know you guys aren't good with the comics, but I want to say how the comics did this better. In the comic book version, Homelander and a bunch of soups take the White House over. And for me, I think that would have been a better way to do this scene. Like you said, and they had in the fucking comic book, which I don't know why they wouldn't put in the show, they had troops and special forces and Secret Service, like, all surround the White House, and then Butcher comes with the virus, and they all take V, and the boys go in there to take them out. I'm telling you all this because obviously that's not how it's going to happen here. But I think that would have been better to pull that, because it shows, like Proper said, like, there's a response. That also bugged me too, because it's like, you can't just fucking kill the president of the United States, especially with, like, I heard Secret Service outside the door. So obviously they're there. It's like, what do you tell them? Like, even if they did like a little cover up where she's like, you know, you guys didn't see nothing, dispose of the body, something like that. But like Justin said, I think you put it the best. We said this in the beginning, PB. It felt like the show was going so slow, and now they're speeding shit up at the ending in order to try to make it. And this shit happened with the worst season of Stranger Things or a show so far. It's getting up there with Game of Thrones for me. The Stranger Things did this fucking same thing where they had a 2-hour episode, and like 10 or 15 minutes of it was a giant CGI battle, and then like the rest of it was the fucking epilogue. It's ridiculous, but they're doing this in reverse where they're speed running the whole end of the show. And I know I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to kill Huey and Starlight. So like, you could have spaced out deaths, because I know MM's going to die. I knew Frenchie was going to die. A little bit different in the comics. Him and Kamiko die by an explosion that Butcher sets in the boys' office.
Yeah, doesn't he kill everybody?
He kills the boys. And he doesn't even kill Homelander. Homelander gets killed by Homelander.
By another Homelander?
They made a clone of Homelander in case he ever got out of control, and his clone was actually the one who killed
Butcher. You mean Clonelander.
Yeah, Clonelander. And his clone was actually more sadistic than he was, and he was the one doing the bad shit Homelander thought he was responsible for. And so he kills Homelander, and then the government kills the clone, and then Butcher kills the boys, because he feels like there's nothing left for them to do, and they have V in them, so they all need to die. And that's pretty much Huey kills Butcher because Butcher wants Huey to be the one to do it. And then Huey and Starlight live happily ever after. It wasn't very good in the comics, to be honest with you. It's the one source material thing I don't like, because the way they did it was kind of like the show, very fucking rushed and like no plan. And I was like, oh, the show can go in a different route. I was actually excited. PB knows. I told him I was excited for the show to actually make a different ending. And parts of this I've liked. I liked A-Train's death. I liked the idea of Frenchie's death because in the comics, he just dies from an explosion with Kimiko, which I always thought was a waste of Kimiko's character and Frenchie's. It was just like a bomb goes off and they're dead and they die together in each other's arms. So it's kind of the same concept, but they remixed it a bit, which fine. But like you guys said, the stuff leading up to it makes no sense. Like the radiation thing made sense when me and PB watched it in that one episode where Homelander got trapped in there. The mechanics made sense, but then it felt like for this episode, they had to show emotional moments. So they had him going in to this nuclear thing. And we all know, even if it's cooled down, shit is still radioactive for like hours. And a human being being radiated, like you wouldn't be able to touch them or anything like that. So, and I know people are going to be like, well, it's just a show. It doesn't make sense. Well, it's fucking stupid. The mechanics of it does, like, you could do so many things. You could have them in like a lead thing with like a mask and just holding her like this. You could have done 150 things to make the scene make sense.
That's funny. He had, like, in the first scene where they're showing Kimiko getting exposed to radiation, that's like a little something on, and everyone else is just wearing t-shirts and jeans and shit. Like, that's
what I'm saying. You're right. It makes no sense because everything would be radiated.
In the entire building, in the whole building. Once you open that door, it's over. Like,
it's like, and it's like, I get what they're trying to do, but like you said, it feels like and I heard this stupid thing, and I just want to dispel this right now because they made a Game of Thrones reference. They said, oh, Kimiko is becoming the Arya Stark. Now, calm down. Kimiko has had more interactions with Homelander than Ariana Stark had interactions with the Night King. That made no sense because she had never interacted with that villain at all at any point in the show. So it didn't make sense she was the one who offed him. Kimiko got ripped in half by Homelander. So, I mean, it's like she's had direct contact.
I never heard that actual argument before. So,
oh, they said it on X. I was looking at a thread when people are complaining. They're like, oh, and on the comments for some videos I watched breaking it down, they're like, oh, they're pulling an Ariana Stark, and it's like, no, these aren't the same things. Like, all the boys interacted with Homelander.
No, Kimiko's had a good arc up until she can all of a sudden talk, but out of nowhere, I'm still mad about that. By the way, still kind of pisses me off.
Yes, thank you. Stone Cold Jeremy, 100% agree with that. It's what makes it stand out more, and why Justin actually likes it is they used to ground a lot of it in reality while keeping some of it fantastical. So there are a couple of things where you could be like, okay, it's the boys, but it's leaning too much into that, and it's taking out a lot of the reality. And I just got to say this, and you guys know I haven't mentioned this much. I think to PB once. Some of the politics are weird here. I get what they're trying to say, but they're writing it in reverse. And if they are siding with the party I think they want to side with, the statements they're making are so fucking ridiculous. It's like, okay,
I don't know if there
are you like
if there is a side anymore. I don't know what they're trying to do.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, here you're coming off this way, but then so are you trying to be in the middle? Because I know Aaron Kripke has come out very vocally and said what side he's on, but his writing team is so terrible that when they're trying to make some kind of profound statement about what's going on or a joke about it, it comes off as not funny and kind of, as the kids say, cringe, because it's like, I get what you're trying to say, but how you wrote this makes it sound like you're for the other side. And especially that stupid fucking comment about Yellowstone. Fuck you. Tyler Sheridan is a better writer than any of these fucking hacks on this show.
We put it into the Taylor Sheridan AI, and this is what it said.
And it's like, oh, so you mean you actually put it through a good director's fucking AI program?
That's what that was about?
Yeah. They were taking a jab at Yellowstone.
I didn't get the reference at all. I was like, who is this one of the writers or something? I didn't see him in the credits. I was like, who the hell is this guy?
No, they were taking shots at Yellowstone, which even in the last season, which was a terrible season, it was still 100 times better.
Was it? Actually, to be fair, I can't even fucking remember it. I tried to catch up and I skipped season.
Let's put it to, I wouldn't, it's not the last season because the last season is split in two. It's the last, 5 or 6 episodes.
6 episodes of the last season. Once again.
Once they kill off John Dutton, it's like, well, I don't give a fuck anymore.
But yeah, spoilers to watch my hour-long rant on it. Worst mistake the show ever did. But that was a victim of not having a main character that you needed for the whole show. This is a victim of like that they are speedrunning, and we said we were nervous before about them landing the plane. At the very least, I predict a crash landing at best with a few survivors.
Yeah, because like, who do we even have left? But like, I get it. Everyone's dead. I kind of expected everyone to be dead. So who do we have left? Homelander, all the boys except for Frenchie, rest in peace. Then we have the Deep. And then there's that. And then there's that preacher guy who just kind of showed up out of nowhere, and I don't give a fuck about anything that he does or what he says. He's just kind of like, I don't know, nothing to me. Like, where were you this whole time? I don't give a fuck. I literally don't care.
Hold on. That reminds me really quick, because I do want to talk about my favorite part in this episode.
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite part was the Samuel L. Jackson cameo as the shark.
I thought that was him. I wasn't sure.
It was. You got to look into the credits. They're special guests.
I didn't see it. So
I thought it was
him.
That was the best moment in this episode for me. He's like, motherfucker. You get a water cat.
He's playing, and I like how he's playing a shark. Like, I kind of wish it was the same shark as like
Deep Blue Sea.
He got killed. He got eaten by a Deep Blue Sea, but it's good. I like it. No,
that was my favorite moment in this.
That
episode,
was a good.
Because the Deep has been the best. Okay, so guys, I wanted to ask. I think the Deep has been the best character in this final season.
What do you mean by best character?
As far as like being the most interesting and feeling like they're fleshed out to where we're getting to the ending, like whatever fate happens to him, it feels like they've really done a great job, like getting his arc to the end, where the other characters, I feel like they're speed running to try to get them to whatever point they need to be at. But the Deep has been, oddly, for a side character, like the most consistent arc rise pretty much through any of the seasons. Like, I don't know. I feel most satisfied watching him and what's going on with him. And then, the normal stuff, the boys, Yui and Homelander. But then all the other side shit has been like, oh, can we get past this? But when the Deep comes on, I'm like, yeah, how lower is his life going to get?
I would say
he hits a whole new low like every single season, and it's pathetic, but it's cool to watch. It's actually very satisfying, and frankly, he deserves it. For a lot of it is his own doing by being a good little lapdog for Homelander, literally kissing his ass, and now like Homelander just like, there's no more 7. Hasn't been the 7 in a while. I was like, thank you. We haven't had the 7 since season 1, basically.
Well, I mean, I'm a little surprised.
Someone's dead.
I'm a little surprised it took as long as it did, considering he tore down the little mural thing and put up his own little statue just outside the door. You would have thought he would have disbanded the 7 a while ago.
I would have thought so too. But yeah, now that I think about it, I don't think, any of the 7 are really alive.
I don't know if I'd say he's the best character, but this season, I would say the Deep has been the most entertaining character.
Oh, without a doubt. The whole, it felt like, and this is the problem I have with the season. that I think I can pinpoint now because I couldn't put my finger on it until
I still can't. Maybe
recent episode. It feels like certain characters get shortchanged to develop other ones. So Black Noir in this season was a goddamn waste, but he was just fundamentally there to set up Kevin's arc. And A-Train to me was one of the best deaths and one of the ones that hit me the hardest, but he had his arc set up from the end of last season the end of last season into this season. So there wasn't much sacrifice there except for they focused a lot on him. So you didn't get shit with the boys. And then with Frenchie, he's so shortchanged that we only get like him saying stuff and actually like interacting this episode. So then we could be emotionally manipulated at the end of the episode when he dies. But really think about it. He hasn't done shit for like 3 seasons. It's all been tied to Kimiko. And that's what I mean. Where like one person gets tied to another character and by its nature, it shortchanges that one character and it props up another, but there's no, as in the Force, balance. It's greatly disproportioned. And it almost feels like playing favorites with certain characters. Like you can tell what characters the writers like writing versus the characters they don't know what to do with.
They didn't. The first one that comes to mind, I honestly feel like is that firecracker chick.
They had no, and PB. I think we both agree we like her. Maybe not for.
Oh yeah, I would crack her.
And she had so.
I
much
was happy to see her go, honestly, but.
And even the cat, Lee, and the dog. I guess he's a dog.
Who the hell were they? Who are these people?
They could have been so interesting. I thought that joke with them sniffing each other's asses was hilarious. Like there were a lot of good gags. They could have. What I'm saying is they could have had more interactions in the story, but they only get these little snippets where you see how funny they can be, and then they're dead. And it's like
they get like 1-2 character moments at most, and then that's it, and then they die. Like so that should be a hint to everyone. But
and this is the thing that pisses me off because I've seen Eric Kripke's work especially with the final season. Not the final season. I'm sorry, Supernatural fans. I don't count anything after season 5. Season 5, he specifically set up every character in the story to when you got there, you could have ended the show there because everybody got a satisfying arc. They got a payoff. It was set up throughout the whole season. And I don't understand why in this season, when you have 8 episodes, but they felt like enough time, it wasn't a time thing. They could have highlighted people so when we get to these deaths, the core people, so like when you get to Frenchie's death, it has more of an impact because then I'm just sitting going like let me just say the actress who plays Kimiko almost got me. Her acting was great. Like the moment is great between them and the way she acts it specifically. And yes, I'm highlighting a woman because we're not sexist, guys. Like
I don't think you needed
a little bit. But Bitchy just said you're sexist. Anyway, no. The point being is this actress gives like 110%, and it feels like she's acting in a different show. Like it feels like this death should be in another television show, or like there was more, and it just loses. Let me quote the best reviewer on YouTube, John Campia's reviews. It loses its emotional weight. Like, did you guys, let me ask you, did you guys get the impact that I think was supposed to be conveyed? Because I don't know about you, I didn't. I was more going to tear up because of her scream at the very end. That kind of got me. But the rest of it, I didn't feel anything. Like, I was like, oh, he's going to die from the radiation, which we never brought up the 15 fucking times they were touching irradiated things. Dude, that was, yes. Dude, hashtag justice for Kevin. I'm gonna start that hashtag justice for the deep. No, dude, that's what I'm saying. The deep has been the most consistent as far as getting funny little stories, but arcs that work for the character and have satisfying payoffs. You said it best, Justin. Satisfying payoffs. And I think the thing that sucks about this death is I wanted to feel more, and it just didn't do it for me. Let me get.
Yeah, it made me feel wanting. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I didn't want to go too far into it all like right off the bat, but that's the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, I think I think it was the previous episodes just being like some of them just being so boring like that. Now I'm just like, okay, I'm just waiting for it to happen. I'm like,
dude, Homelander getting the invincibility felt more impactful when his lasers to the sky. Me and PB said, remember what we said last week, PB? When he shot, first off, that ups my score for last week's episode because that was more impactful when he laser beamed the sky and the visual and everything. And they leave you like going, oh shit, man, this next episode's going to be a fucking wham dinger because Homelander's invincible. And then we spend an hour of him being fucking narcissistic and the same old shit we've gotten since the beginning.
Just like what is?
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. Hold on, I'll take this because you guys don't read the comics. That's crazy because Psycho, I don't like the comic ending, and I still think the way it's looking now that the comic book ending is going to be the best ending that we got because even the way they structured this, some of the stuff from the comic would have been better. Like have Homelander take the White House with Soups after he became invincible. Okay, this is just a rewrite fantasy.
You're not supposed to say that word. You're supposed to put a graphic up.
Oh, I was looking at this article, and I think this I actually really like this one sentence that this guy wrote. He said, "Too much of season 6 is focused on Soldier Boy distantly staring into space while thinking about his past. Ridiculous."
But the thing is, I like the
Soldier back and forth between Homelander and the boys. I'm like, I think that kind of gets it for me.
But see, here's the thing: I love Soldier Boy, and to be honest, half of the highest ratings that I gave were specifically because of Soldier Boy, and that's an issue, Justin, like you said, because nothing they're doing with the boys or this Homelander battle, it has been moving really. Like, look at every episode we've gotten. They move a little bit, but it's like an inch here, an inch there. There's no. Let me put it this way.
It's no progress.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the comics. I know everybody loves it, but in the comics, there's substantial deaths and shit that start to set things up for the end game from like the second to the last issues. There's some major deaths and people that die that start to kick it off. And even though I don't think they ended it strongly, the buildup is paid off. In the last episode, which felt more like a penultimate episode than this did, we got, oh shit, Homelander's invincible. Like, what is he going to do? He's going to go back to the tower and whine like a bitch. Or I'm sorry, he's going to go to the White House and whine like a bitch for however many long. And then he's going to once again put his fucking dad in cryo. And then once again talk about, now I'm really mad. People got to believe in me. And it's like, you're spinning your wheels. Like, I feel like they're just waiting for the final episode, and it's going to be really weird because then if they kill all of these people and stuff like that, you're going to have a situation where people are like, well, this feels fucking rushed because it's like,
well, yeah, because that's what I was saying earlier. Who do we have left? We have all
Mother's Milk is dying without a doubt.
Mother's Milk is gone. The Butcher's
I'd say
gone.
Kimiko probably.
Kimiko, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
No, they're definitely going to kill her. I don't see a world where they can keep her.
It better not be just an hour-long episode. We got to get like a 2-hour-long one.
It's less, isn't it? We looked up the time. It's not even an hour.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You already know the runtime?
It's a standard runtime. And the director came out and said it's going to be a standard runtime because he believes he didn't need all that time that they have it all wrapped up and whatever. And I'm like, this is okay. This shit in modern writing is what pisses me off. Every shitty show we've gotten without fail, Game of Thrones, Dexter, the fucking Stranger Things, they all came out and said, what? We didn't need extra time. We've got it all handled. Everyone's going to get a satisfying conclusion. And every network, every fucking place has been like, hey, man, we'll give you an extra episode. You can extend it to an hour or whatever. Like, this is our flagship. We'll throw money at you. And arrogance and fucking self-importance and entitlement and this fucking pompous fucking view.
Wait a minute, hold on. They're showing it in theaters. That's why they know what the runtime is. I would be going to I'm not paying a ticket to the movies to see an hour-long film. What the fuck? They're trying to pull a Stranger Things with this shit?
Yeah.
No. If I'm going to watch an hour-long movie and go to the theaters and pay to see it, I'm going to watch a re-release of The Land Before Time because that's fucking worth it. Like, what?
But it's not even an hour from what I heard. Do you guys have the runtime? Because according
it's
to...
an hour and 5 minutes.
Okay, so that's probably like an hour and something because of credits.
That's actually kind of fucked up. Like, who's gonna buy a ticket to that? What?
And dude, in this hour, do you know how
I kind of want to,
they're
though.
going to have to get to the big battle? They're going to have to get to the big battle. They're going to have to resolve all that, and then they're going to have to resolve what happens with the characters after that. I gotta be honest with you
how
guys.
disappointing this episode was, I'm not entirely sure that there is going to be an actual big battle.
I mean,
how confident are you right now that there's going to be a big battle with a whole bunch of soups either fighting with or against Homelander? Because he could be on his own fighting everyone. But
I think they're going to bring back they're definitely bringing back the Sun. And I think Soldier Boy is going to be brought back. I think the boys are going to get him out of his cryo. He's going to switch sides and be like, fuck him. And I think that's going to be the two key people on there. And then whoever else is left in Homelander, is going to be by himself because he's fucked over, doesn't like the forces he's had has died unless they pull out people from Gen V, which, by the way, I want to just sidebar. Gen V cameo, what a fucking point. Like you could have cut this out to build up more stuff with Frenchie and gave us Willie not die or something like that.
Well, unless they're actually going to, if there is a big fight and they're actually going to use them.
No, because Eric Kripke said
in this moment, like the whole,
Eric Kripke came out and
skipped everything. You could have skipped everything because we ain't seen them all season anyways. And just done that last fucking scene where they show up with the people in the truck and they're like, we need your help. And they'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We didn't have to have the pack it in, guys. Run the fuck away.
And Eric Kripke said specifically, this I do remember in an interview, he said none of the Gen V characters are going to factor into the final battle. He's like, come out and said that because people were asking.
What are you talking about? Wait, hold on a second. Didn't we just end with the Gen V characters, the main character and then the trans person? It just in one of the last scenes with Starlight and Mother's Milk when they freed all the people from the studio when they were about to get murdered for not believing that Homelander's God. Like, didn't they just? They said okay, like they tied in with a scene from the finale of Gen V where they meet up with Starlight and Mother's Milk, and then they tie that in to the boys. They go back to that, and then they flesh out the whole scene, and then just walk away. And then they come back, and then they meet up with them at a house or something. Like, what do you mean they're not going to factor into anything? Like, I don't understand. Like, it'd be kind of cool if they did, right?
I am just saying what Eric Kripke said in an interview. He said that
okay,
he is still considered separate. It's not by his writing team. And I don't know why they want to like treat it like the bastard stepchild. But
I like Gen V, despite its.
I did until
weird
season 2.
shit.
I wasn't crazy about that, but
Well, you know what? It's fine that they did lose one of the actors, unfortunately.
No, it wasn't that. It was the other writing choices. But anyways, we're not talking about that. My point being is I agree with you. They did so much with that one character and making her feel like she was going to somehow factor in that I do agree with you. Like, it's the stupidest thing. Then why tie any of it up? Just leave it be. They could tie it in another show or do a flashback or something. I don't understand.
What the hell would they even do with season 3 after what they do in The Boys? Like, where is there to go? I don't get it. I don't get it. I thought
it's going to be a connected universe. They got 6 shows announced, but
what?
So we know Soldier Boy isn't dying because
he can't. I guess
he's been announced in another show. So
okay, cool. I guess that's odd. Like, is it a sequel show?
Who the fuck did you just say isn't dying?
Soldier Boy.
He's in a prequel show.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking.
But they're making a new show, and there's supposed leaks. He's gonna, they're doing a show with 2 other characters in the universe.
It's a fucking prequel show.
No, not a prequel. They're doing another one. There's 3 spin-offs coming. There's
Soldier Boy is going to be the star in more than one show.
That's what they're saying, and that's what he announced on his page. It's on his Instagram.
Okay, but whatever. Fuck it.
Well, anyways, that's neither here or there.
But anyways,
Gen V shouldn't have been tied in here. It's a waste of time. That's the point of this.
I'm cool with it.
Nothing.
I'm cool with it.
I think it still wastes time.
They didn't do anything. They didn't really do much, but you know.
But that's still scenes that could be used for other things, is what I'm saying. Like, that all could have been omitted, and the episode doesn't change really at all, except for where they drop off the people, and you could fucking do anything else. You could have just have them coming out of the building and the people were like, go. Like, it didn't change anything for that scene to be in there, and that's what I mean. Like, the inconsistency in the writing is pretty fucking glaring.
Yeah, I didn't understand the choice. With just having to do nothing, it just leads off to them being a part of whatever the hell is going to happen next, and I do not know what the. Here's my problem. I still don't know. Like, what is their big plan? What are they planning on doing? I don't know. It's like there's nothing to anticipate because it's just kind of like another blank canvas again. You know, so it's like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Hello? What's going on?
It's like the Sister Sage reveal. Like, I get they did that for comedy, but like it's so stupid. It's
Dude, a lot of people I've seen online are coping with Sister Sage because they're like, well, there's no way that she's this fucking dumb. She's the smartest fucking character that's ever charactered in anything that's had a character. So this is definitely part of her plan. I was like, you people are insane. She gave up. She quit. She's out of it. She ain't got nothing to do with it.
Literally lobotomized herself and doing drugs. So like,
the character said this is what's wild about the internet, especially because I heard this bullshit during Stranger Things with those crazy people who still think there's a secret episode coming.
What? God. They still think? Oh my.
They're still lining up dates. Yeah, the copium is real.
No, the in that show, in Stranger Things, they made a mistake. They made mistakes, and they're pointing out all the mistakes. That's it.
But it's the same thing because with Sister Sage, I still said, like, okay, it isn't that fucking stupid. Like, maybe she does want be left alone or whatever. Maybe that's her ultimate life goal. But me and you, PB, talked about this. And we were saying, well, maybe there's a secondary reason. So this isn't this fucking stupid. Then we'll get more of an insight. And we don't. It's exactly what we thought. She is smart, yes. But when it comes to people and reading them, she's dumb because she didn't account for love, which is if you're the smartest fucking person in the world, I think even on a fundamental level, you would be able to factor that in. Whatever, that's my other issue. Wow, I'm going to talk myself down on this rating.
You'll never know how anybody is ever going to react in a specific situation, which is why the thinker, to reference other comic book stuff, is constantly giving a percentage on what is probably going to happen.
Because he factors in things you can't account for. That's what actually makes him a really smart villain, because he does take into account all of the other things that could possibly happen, which makes his character. See, I think with Sister Sage,
they were blinded by her arrogance of her intelligence.
And I think what they wanted to do, like, I get what they were trying to do with the character, and the actress is really good. I do like the actress who plays her, which is why I try to give the benefit of the doubt. But like, I think the way they wrote the character, they wrote themselves into a corner because they wanted to show a character who's this brilliant mind, is out thinking everybody, even Homelander, and we know Homelander, as far as in the thoughts department, he ain't built like that. So it's interesting, but they've, to me, wasted the character's potential so much, because you could have had a cool grand plan that that's been slowly unfolding. And like everything else in the show, it feels rushed. Like they didn't expect her to be as liked by people as she is. And so they were like, oh shit, well, we got to write something for her to do. And it's amounts to flopping back and forth between allegiances and shit like that. It's really, the writing is strange. And keep in mind, folks, because I hear this fucking argument all the time with the politics in the show and the things that they throw in. Oh, this was written years before. First of all, it was not written. It was maybe written a year or two before everything else that was going on. So, and they hadn't shot episodes, so they had plenty of time to throw shit in. That's number one. Number two, okay, even if it was written years ago, why didn't you have a fucking plan going for where these characters were going to go? If we're going to use this argument that it's been, well, they were years ahead. So then why does the story feel like they just wrote it yesterday and they're trying to fucking catch everything up?
I don't know. I don't.
Feels like they fucking forgot to write the final two episodes. Episode 6 was more of a penultimate episode than the penultimate episode. That's just my opinion. Does anyone here disagree? I feel like 6 was more exciting at the end, where I was like, oh shit. Even Bitchy was like, when does the next episode come on? Like, that's how fucking excited it was.
Being that it's not a one-to-one copy of the comic book, that they've quite obviously decided to tell their own story with the characters from the comic book, it feels like they wrote themselves into a corner because they didn't know what story they were going to tell from the beginning. Like, they just knew we're not going to end it like the comic book. That's all they knew. And then they're like, well, we'll still start it like the comic book. Like, we'll stick close to it, but we'll eventually make some differences here. And they don't know what fucking differences to make.
I
didn't know what the story was. They didn't know the ending to the story when they started. And they've been going along and writing the characters. Like you said, we can tell which ones are their favorites and which ones aren't. And they're reacting to how people are reacting. They're like, well, I would like to see more of Homelander. You got to see way more Homelander this season.
Sure. Yeah.
What do you think, Justin?
About having themselves basically write themselves into a corner? Oh, no, I completely agree. That makes sense. It's this is what happens. Oh, writers still have not learned their lesson out there, have they? You need to have a plan. Have a plan. Have a game plan. You knew you were doing this. You knew it was going to be, 5 seasons? I think that's what they aimed for.
They knew it was going to be
5. They didn't think about how, what exactly the changes are going to be. I don't know. That you had so much time, and it's like you decided to work on the assignment and turn it in at the last minute. Like, what the fuck?
And I want to say too, it feels like to me that and I'm going to always reference one of the greatest shows in television. A great show to take from that had a plan. You guys been on this channel, I got to do a review on this series. How much I talk about it. Breaking Bad.
I had no idea you were say Breaking Bad.
Vince Gilligan had his plan for where he was going to go. Now, he like we said, in anything with writing, and I write too, so I know this. It's why it's taken me so long to make my first book, is that characters and the moments are going to change. But if you have things mapped out, like the end game doesn't change, how you get there might differ, and who the star of the show is or whatever else might change as you're making the story. But essentially, from where you begin to where you end, the ending should be set in stone, and the beginning should be set in stone. And the things that are in between shouldn't affect how the outcome of the ending is going to be. And if you have a good writing team, they'll scrap some ideas and not put every fucking random idea you have in order to achieve the end goal. And as you guys were saying, it's such a big difference, because in Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul or anything Vince Gilligan writes, you can see how everything he's ever done, especially in final episodes, they reflect everything that's come before. Like, he writes down all of the plot points he's had, and he brings them up again. Like in the final season of Breaking Bad, Jesse gives Walt a watch, and I think it's in season 3 for his birthday. And Walter uses the watch for a timer on a machine gun at the end of the season to take out these guys. And it's kind of a nod to his relationship with Jesse and everything else. And it all ties into what the themes and the message has been throughout the whole fucking show. In this, it's like you get nods, but they pull some nods from the comics that, like you guys said, because you don't read the books, you don't get the references. I did. But like you said, with the White House thing, you're like, I have no fucking point of reference. I've never seen the comic book. So for me, that's cool. I get a little Easter egg. But for you guys, you're just like, it's a good scene, but like, what's the point? But it's supposed to be a nod directly to the end of the comic book where Homelander took the White House with a bunch of suits. And it's almost kind of feels disrespectful, because it's like, oh, you guys thought we were going to go that route? No, we're not. We're going. Well, what fucking direction are you going in, Eric?
Down.
Like,
they're going in a downward direction.
Like, where is your story going? Because right now, I got to be honest, I don't have much faith. I get that same pit in my stomach that I felt watching the last episode before the final to Stranger Things. And I had some hope when I was like, oh, this is this size of a movie. They're going to fucking make it make sense. No, they don't. And I feel like, yet again, this is one of those disappointing shows I follow for years, and I just get bent over a fucking table and railed.
They
no
they
Lou.
have the opportunity, even with how good the season has been compared to the final season of Game of Thrones, they have the opportunity to have just as terrible of an ending.
It's still 50. It's wild to me.
It's not 50-50 anymore, guy. It's like 70-30 bad.
70-30. It's wild to me that Justin had the best point when he said,
not wild to me. That's so hurtful. Justin makes a lot of good points.
Yes, I do.
No, I'm saying it's wild to me. Justin had a good point about coming from, because he's coming at it with no prior knowledge. Well, neither are you. But it's so funny to hear him say, like, I don't understand what the plan is. And that's a problem, because we got bits and pieces, but at this point, and I'm not saying like you do what Netflix did or the other shows and treat us like fucking idiots and say this plan 50 fucking times that we heard. I'm not saying you say that.
I've seen movies and shows where the dialogue is explicitly, so what's the plan? Here's the plan.
Yeah, like we don't need that. We don't need that, but we need them talking about the fucking plan.
Anything.
We need a map.
Like I thought the whole point was to like get the virus and then it'll wipe out all the soups. Okay, cool. We've been saying that forever. And then it's useless now. What are they gonna do? What? Wait, what? You just threw it away with this V1 crap? Like, why did
it was in the comics? The virus was in the comics too. So it's kind of like, as a comic book fan, it feels like another fuck you to us because it's like, oh, you thought the virus was gonna be an equalizer? Nah, we're more cooler than that. It's like, what? No, you fucking moron! You wrote.
Did they prioritize? Wait a minute. So did they just prioritize making the show unpredictable?
That's what it feels like.
Over anything that made sense? What
Bingo.
kind of shit is this?
Because in the comics, they take the V and they put it in the weapons. So when the soups surround the White House, they use guns and stuff against them, but the superheroes are dying. So they're like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And they put the virus or something to do with the virus on the weapons to affect the soups, to kill them. And that's what kills clone Homelander at the end. They all fire a bunch of shots and shit. And I think Butcher beats him with the infamous crowbar, but whatever. And it's like, okay, you made that part in the comic a plot point in your show, but then at the fourth quarter, you abandon all the plays you've been running to do fucking PB, help me out with the sports analogy. They scrapped the fucking game plan.
Oh, they scrapped the game plan to go for the plays nobody would ever suspect, and they just keep running trick play after trick play, and one trick play works, but the other two do not. Fourth down.
And it's like, okay, it's fourth down. We got to fucking score. And I don't see it. I don't see the play that they're going with because you just threw your whole game plan out the fucking window. So it's like, what are we running to? And it's crazy to me too, the ratings that I see for this, and two, they do that razzle dazzle. They do the jazz hands with Frenchie's death because they know people like Frenchie. So people, this is just window dressing. This is just throw the ball over and go get it. We'll give you a shiny new toy. But it's a distraction because when you really break down his death, it makes no fucking sense. It's just like, okay, we gotta get.
It was very stupid. Like I need to talk about that entire scene. If I'm Homelander, right? And if they wouldn't have focused on it, I wouldn't have thought about it. But the fact that he goes into the building and he's looking around with the X-ray vision and boom, he can't see through the one zinc thing that's in the building. If I'm Homelander, I'm looking inside of every fucking zinc thing. Ever.
Yeah. And then they do the whole...
No matter where I am, even if I'm not looking for anyone or anything dastardly, I'm not even trying... Like, if I see something that's zinc-coated, what the fuck is behind there? Because I should be able to know. The fact that they looked at it, and then they look away, and then they come back, and he's focused on it, and then Frenchie taps his finger to distract him. It's like, yeah, I figured a distraction was going to come, but the fact that you don't go back and check to see if anything's in there, when the only reason that you came to this location was to find Sister Sage, and you didn't find her, and then you didn't fucking look everywhere? You know how big she is, and you know how big this thing is? And you wouldn't think that she could possibly be fucking in there? It was so fucking dumb. I was so pissed off about it.
And I've heard people justify going, well, that part where Frenchie had gone, well, she's on her way to take you out. Homelander rushed over to, but it's like, if you know she's powerful, why is he rushing over to face her then? Like, even that argument makes no sense. Okay, so you want to go the route, the distraction happens, whatever else, and Frenchie tells this bullshit bluff like, hey man, she's coming to get you and she's over here. Well, then he leaves to meet her if she supposedly has the same power as his father. That doesn't make sense as a defense, because wouldn't he want to get away from her or grab a hostage and be like, hey, if you want Frenchie alive, you're going to meet me at such a... And that's the other thing too. Homelander could have like taken him hostage even as he's dying as a way to lure him out and be like, hey, you know, I don't know where you are, blah, blah, blah. He could have flown over to where he told him and used him as the hostage and been like,
he could have been like, I got your boy here who will bring me the Taco Bell fiend.
Like, the more we talk about it, the lower my score is getting, because
so on top of that, if we went through the kidnapping route, if they just stayed there and was quiet, you know what would have been more shocking? Would have been more like, it would have been kind of cool if he just waited. He's like, oh, not coming out, okay, and just like snap his neck or like do something. Like, he should have just kept. This is the one thing that like pisses me off about Homelander. Like, and this was even said in the show, like, should we kill Butcher and Huey? No. Like, why not? They are your enemies. Like, kill them.
No, he said no, get information from them, and then it was to kill him, because then the guy came in with the knife at the end. That part I kind of get. He did authorize them being killed. He wanted the information first. That actually makes sense. I'm going to defend that. That was one of the few things that did make sense to me. Because
what doesn't make sense is that he kills the president, right? Fucking dead immediately. He kills Frenchie.
No, he doesn't.
I don't even know what he did to Frenchie. What did he do? He stabbed him in the gut so he could bleed out slowly?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was fucking. He kills everybody else instantly. But when they need to write in an emotional moment instead of it making sense, they do stupid shit like that. It makes the other, like, the inconsistency of how you kill people, because at no point is it set up that Homelander wants Frenchie to suffer. Like, if he was doing it to Butcher, I would see him wanting him to suffer. But doing it to Frenchie, like, he doesn't even know his name. He's like, I got a French one.
I
agree.
So I also have another gripe.
Yes,
it's kind of a nitpick. So
that's okay.
So after Frenchie's dead, Homelander just fucks right off. Right, he just flies away again. Right.
Yep.
And then Sage and Kimiko go out, and Kimiko comforts Frenchie as he dies in her arms. And then Butcher and Huey just show up out of nowhere. Wouldn't Homelander have like detected them or something? Like somewhere, somehow? Where were they hiding?
I'm unsure.
You didn't see him outside? Or what? Like, where the fuck did they come from? They just wanted them to be there for the emotional moment. The writers don't care about having it make logical sense that they're there. They just want them to be there.
No, it's all emotional moments and spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing,
maybe I'm wrong on that, but still, like
keep on coming back to what I'm going to say is the best half of the season. A-Train. There was spectacle and emotional moment, and I still feel like that death hit me so much harder because everything within the death to me made sense and was directly a thing that the character was going through. Like in the first season, he didn't stop and he killed somebody, and someone being direct. Now, the person being put in the way, you could say is questionable. Like, oh, they happened to go across the street that specific moment, whatever. I can forgive that because the rest of it was so well set up. And even like him hitting the tree and everything else, the conversation between the two of them makes sense because they're former members of the Seven. On some level, I think Homelander wants that respect even when he's about to kill him, and A Train doesn't give a fuck, and that's kind of, we see him chipping away. It was so crazy because that scene showed they could do a death scene that where you still have the emotional moment, you're still hanging on it, you still got good dialogue, but the death makes sense, like why he doesn't kill him right away, or like everything, the mechanics of the death makes complete sense and works. Whereas here, like, you could even fix this and make it gratuitous and gory, have him like rip Frenchie in half and still have it like him crawling with half of his body gone, and then she finds him, and they could still have the heart to heart. You can rejigger the words because obviously he's going to be coughing up blood and shit like that. Probably won't have much to say, but you could still have him like, "Death, I love you," or something that we saw in the episode that ties everything together, and still have it hit hard. And you could even do it like a quick thing, like he didn't even really give it. He wasn't trying to make him suffer or anything. He just rips him in half and then just goes about his day. And I mean, the scene still wouldn't make sense, but the impact of the death, it would have been brutal. It would have been like, damn. It would have added more weight to the crying scene when she gives out that scream, because honestly, the actress is acting her ass off. I just want to say it honestly. Yes. The actress who plays Kamiko.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
And her, go ahead. Her back must have some serious pains holding that scene up together, because quite literally, she's the thing that gets you. Like PB, the cry at the ending. I'm not gonna lie, that got me, even though the rest of the scene didn't work. Did you kind of feel the same way? Like the actress is given 100.
Yeah, I did. I felt a similar way. Like, yeah, everything that led up to it was frustrating me, so it was hard to be in the moment of, oh, she's going through her person dying. Because I was like, why is he dying in this fashion? Like, I thought he was going to pull the door closed and turn it on. But then I was like, well, if the on button is inside the room, then Homelander will just turn it off. Like, the whole point of him like trying to hit him with the radiation was it didn't hit for me at all. Like, why are you trying to kill yourself when you're not going to do anything?
Yeah, which is, it's like I said, the scenes, or what I thought was going to happen was, which, let's rewrite the scene for a second. What I thought would have been more impactful was if he closed the door.
Well, yeah, but how does he turn it on then?
But see, they fucked up because they made the switch on the inside. They should have had it on the outside. He closed the door.
The switch he was using earlier was on the outside. Like, I don't know if it's a three-way switch or a double switch, in the sense of, like, a three-way switch, either one will turn it on and turn it off at any time, whereas the double switch is the power sends the power. Like, the inside one has to always be on, and the outside one can turn it on and off, or vice versa.
Or you have him destroy the switch that turns it off, and then, like, speed outside, close the door, have him flip the switch, and have her watch him dying from radiation poisoning, and they can't get in. Now, see, boom.
And that would have been a more emotional moment if she would have watched him die in that way.
Yeah. Or even if he did his chest thing, they should have, like, it's been a weird thing where they've been not showing how certain characters die. Like, have Kamiko like see that, or catch the end where he speeds off thinking she's gone, and she, I don't know, or through the vent, or position the vent closer and see him being like this, or have him stand where he was originally standing and not near the fucking nuclear thing, have him killed in the middle of the room where they could see outside.
We live in the future. There should be surveillance cams and cell phones.
Yeah, like, you could even have him do the chest thing and then have it on a camera they had placed, because they knew, obviously, they had a detection system.
What do you mean have who do the chest thing?
Homelander, wait. No, have Homelander, like, just do his chest. Frenchie.
Oh, punch through him?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much anything that they would have done besides what they did, because they're like, well, we got to save a little bit of money, so we're not going to show the actual. What are you bitching about, Will Baby?
He didn't like the death.
He did not like it. He did not appreciate it at all because it was dumb.
And
that's the biggest problem is that your emotional moments, at least for people that are fucking paying attention, aren't going to land if they're set up by ignorant choices. Like Homelander not looking behind the only thing that he can't see through is a stupid fucking choice. And I'm talking after the fact. Like, yeah, he hears Frenchie tap his finger, which, like, why do you have to do it soft? Why can't you just be like, hey, bitch, that would have been better than him just tapping his finger and like, oh, Homelander can hear. It's like, if he can hear him tap his finger so softly that my microphone can't pick it up on the computer, like you can't hear me tapping the computer, why didn't he just be like, I'm over here, bitch?
Yeah, and try to run. I mean,
like that's how Frenchie acts. Why did he act out of character in this moment?
And it was all for this, like, very forced, emotionally unsatisfying payoff that when you think about the whole thing from the beginning scene, doesn't make any sense to begin with. The whole radiation thing, they played it so real world in the other episodes. And now to have all of these characters.
Well, okay, the way that it was set up in the other location, right? So I don't remember the name of the fucking army base. It was army base though, right?
Yeah, it was an army base.
It was in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, Pennsylvania. There's nobody around, right?
Yep.
The room is relatively large. Like the room that he put Homelander in is bigger than the room that they're putting Kimiko in. Okay. Both Homelander and Soldier Boy have an unbelievable amount of durability. Can you stop puking there, little baby? Like, they're the most durable characters that we know of that don't have regenerative abilities per se. I mean, maybe they do have regenerative abilities, but we've never seen anybody beat them up as hard as we need to. You're really upset right now. Crikey. Just play with the toy, guy. You have it. Just play with it. Anyway, what was I fucking talking about?
Their durability.
They're not going to necessarily feel the extra radiation that's in the room, not to mention the fact that it hasn't been turned on since maybe the 70s or something like that. So it's like 50 years that it hadn't been turned on. So the extra radiation that is in the room, like the small room and the large room, because you got to open the door, so a little bit of radiation is going to come out. Like, I get that. It's not going to affect them. Like you said, it's going to affect regular people. So it made a little more sense at the start of the episode that Frenchie's got the goggles on and he's got the vest on and all that shit. And then by the end of the episode, he's just walking. He's walking right in the room with his t-shirt and jeans on. It should have started burning him almost immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about keeping the show grounded, like, stuff still needs to work the same as it does in our world, in their world. It's the extra stuff that we do. Like, with the whole plane scene at the beginning of the series, and Homelander's like, well, I can't lift a plane. There's nothing to push off of. I was like, well, how do you lift yourself? Like, you got to be able to lift in some respect because you can lift yourself. If you're holding something really heavy, are you able to lift it? Like, if we we drop something out, or I don't know, encase him in concrete, right?
Yep.
Does he like work like the Flash, where he's just vibrating real fast and boom and break everything apart? Is the laser eye vision like, what if we knock him out and we drop him in molten iron and let it solidify around him? Can he fly? Like, is there a maximum? Is there a minimum? I don't fucking know. They never explained it. They don't have to explain it. But then when you give me the setup of, well, I can't push on this, but you want it to be realistic. Like, okay, all of us watched that scene and we're like, oh, fuck, that actually makes sense. That somebody who's like pushing with their hands like the pounds per square inch that are pushing against that from the plane, because the plane is unbelievably fucking heavy. Like, I get the math behind that. But now we're totally disregarding it. We're like, radiation don't work that way no more. It's fine.
Yeah, and to your point, especially what's been annoying is I get setting stuff up, and then a season or two later you disregard it. Boys have done it a few times. That's whatever. But when you set something up within your season and you have these rules, especially around this radiation subplot that you're really making the crux of how apparently we're going to beat Homelander, then you need the ground rules you set. You need to stay consistent. And like you said, they set up these things where like, no one but the Soups went into the room. No one really had an interaction. The reactor was older, so we can assume it gives out less. You set all these things up, but then you got a brand new room, smaller space. I assume the same power, so that room's gonna stay radiated for quite some time, and you might even get some spilling out of the door every time you open it. I mean, not even enough to kill anybody, but enough to make them sick. And it's like I hate dropping consistency in the middle of the season to make something make sense towards the end, because to me, that just says that your writers are not good writers. Like, and I want to keep this in mind because I'm going to pull up the writing team behind this. The person who wrote this was not was not Eric Kripke. The show writer was Sullivan White and Anslem Richards, who's actually an actor. Wow, I didn't know he was a writer for this. He wrote this episode, and this person, they've switched off writers for every single one of these episodes. The best episodes actually were written by this person, Phil Sagani. I don't know how you say that, but we'll say Phil. He wrote the two best episodes. He wrote one shots and the very first episode. So he wrote the one right before the season final, and he wrote the sixth episode. He wrote that, and he wrote the first episode, which were the best episodes. So I don't know why Phil didn't write the rest of these, because then they switched to these other writers, and they either are not taking good notes or they're not like incorporating anything that was written by the other director. I don't know. But this is the problem of also having like 16 writers on your show with like 5 different ones writing different storylines.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
It really is crazy how many, like, I think that shows work, and I've seen this on Daredevil too with their writing team. Not so much, but they had consistent writers for each episode, leading to the showrunner writing the first and the final episodes, which were me and PB had ours, but we liked them. We thought they were pretty good. But the showrunner, Eric Kripke, he outlined everything, but he did not write any of these episodes. He doesn't even direct these. So it's so weird to me. The showrunner doesn't even have input on the final episode. So that's interesting, because I know
he's sitting down and collecting his paychecks.
Yeah, Eric Kripke, I guess, is writing the new Soldier Boy spinoff. So he must have been working on that as this final season was being done as well, because they do these things months or years in advance. They're penning scripts and stuff like that. So, and he's done this too, where he's had other writers writing it, and he goes, okay, this is just a general thought that I'm thinking of. You guys write it, make it happen. And I hate that style of writing. Even Tyler Sheridan, if you look at his shows like which they shit on, you look at Yellowstone or The Tulsa King or Mayor Kingston, he has writing credits in the episodes. He'll have another writer, but you'll see Tyler Sheridan and Dave Horgenbacher or whatever, right? He has these consistent writers he uses, and if he's not the writer of that specific episode, it's someone you've seen writing alongside of him. Why are we getting away from that? Can anybody explain it? Like, do you guys think that this is what ruins some of the writing? Like, I feel like it's weird if you're a showrunner and you're in charge of the show, right? I can understand maybe not writing every single episode or directing every single episode, but if you're a fucking showrunner, I would assume you would want to have a hand in the scripts that are being written. And it just feels like these guys pass these scripts off and we get 16 fucking different writers on every episode. It's weird. I've never come across this as much as recently.
They always hire a team. So how it works is they always hire a team of writers, and there's probably like 15 of them or something on a show. And some of them will write some episodes, some will write others, and it all depends on how much of a percentage of the script that writer has actually went to paper and then was then locked. But so whatever amount, so somebody could have a little input here or there, but they wouldn't get a writing credit. So it depends on how much of it they actually wrote to themselves or rewrote. But then they get credit. But there's just always a variety of people there. It's always a big writer's room usually. But but I don't know how this one works. And did he even write any of these episodes at all?
He's not credited with any of the writing credits for any of these episodes, directing. And I've seen his shows. They've had him specifically, like Eric Kripke and Tyler, whatever, like they do with Tyler Sheridan. But he has none of the writing credits on here. I'm looking at, he has a showrunner, but he does not have any writing credits on here, which I find super fucking odd, because then I'm questioning, I get what a showrunner does. I know their whole thing, and they're overlooking and it's going, yeah, this looks good or whatever else. But maybe it's just me. Maybe it's not how it worked. Justin, you would probably know this better than us. Wouldn't they be in that process? Don't you want to be overseeing, or shouldn't they, in theory, have a writing credit if they're doing all the things? Because I'm wondering who the fuck's to blame for this. Is it the writers, or is it the person who's
both? It all comes down to the showrunner. That's where it all falls down to. They're supposed to be the ones
who not want to write some of the scripts or rewrite them or have a credit on the script. That's what I'm not getting.
He's lazy. That's
bingo.
That's what it feels. Okay, we're getting to the crux of it. Before I said anything, thank you, Justin. It feels like he has not been involved, which shows me the level of care for the final season. Because if your showrunner is not, take for instance Daredevil Reborn, right? The dude on the podcast, PB, we've watched these. The showrunner, his name is on the best episodes of the show, and some episodes in between, you see the guy's name and then the other writers. So that's where I'm saying it's kind of weird trying to make the distinction, because it almost feels like he doesn't even give a fuck about this season. He's just yeah, I'm the showrunner. If it goes great, he's going to get the credit. But then, we're seeing, if it's not great, you're just oh, no, that was the writing team. Is that the kind of situation we're dealing with? Because that's what it feels like.
Possibly. It happens all the time, honestly. Happens all the time.
I mean, even Breaking Bad, you'll see under the script, Vince Gillian and so-and-so, or so-and-so and so-and-so. But they always put, the showrunner's name, too, with the script writing. But that's fucking wild to me.
Well, it's not like he has no input at all, but he just gives the credit to the other writers. He doesn't have to do that for himself all the time. I don't know. Maybe
so it could be a selfless thing. He wrote the script, but he's
no, he doesn't.
He got it set up so that either way it goes, he doesn't have to take the blame, but he can take the credit.
Yep.
That's what it sounds like.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Because if everybody, if they fucking jump the shark and they land it here in this last episode, and everyone's like, "Oh, that was amazing," then he'll be like, "Yeah, I came up with that." And if everyone goes, "Wow, this is really shit," he'll be like, "I didn't really write the final season. I was busy working on this and that. You want to check out my new thing?"
This to me, and it feels like a lot of the Marvel shows we've seen do this with like 16 different writers and directors and rewriters and things like that. But then you got the one director who gets the shit end of the deal because his name's directly attached. But then you look and there's 16 different people, and it's like, well, this guy just came in, okay? And keep in mind, he's a director. I know it's different than the television structure, but right, essential showrunner, director. He's like, okay, so it's directed by blah, blah, blah. That person's going to get the majority of shit because that's the name everybody knows and sees or whatever. But it really was the company hired 80 writers. They all came up with 50 different things, and he had to take this shit idea, trim it down, and see, okay, I could shoot this, this, and this, and try to make this work, and we'll try to get this. But, you know, and it feels like this is the same thing here, where it's like normally, and I go back because if you look up his writing credits for Supernatural from seasons 1 through 5, you would always see his name front and center, especially in the last seasons. He damn near wrote all of those episodes leading up to the final, which is why I highlighted this, because it blew my mind when I was looking it up. He has none of the writing credits here.
Not even in the finale.
Not even in the finale.
Our guy Phil is directing.
It's not. He's not even in the finale, which is fucking wild.
That's weird to me. I understand that writers and directors, showrunners are always like they're working on multiple projects at once because you got to have things lined up. Got to have work lined up. Otherwise, you stop working, it's gonna suck. But hey, look, I get it, but you gotta. I would have thought that this would have been a bigger priority, don't you think?
What? Because here's the thing, I agree with you. You should have shows lined up, but I think every director or showrunner I've seen in this modern age has failed to realize one thing that always bites them in the ass. People remember your name specifically with the last thing that they watched, such as Game of Thrones. D&D got their whole fucking world derailed because they saw the fucking Disney money and they fucking jetted out of that motherfucker so quick your fucking head would spin. And didn't give a shit. And like you said, they had other projects lined up. They were getting ready to take off. All you had to do is make it make sense. But it's like, I get lining up the other project, but also too, like with leaving a job, right? On your last day, or, if you're getting ready to leave, you're not going to go into your office, fucking flash the fucking boss and say, fuck you, you guys suck, blah, blah, blah.
Depends on the job.
Secure the job.
It depends on the job. It depends on the job and the position. Some people absolutely.
I'm pretty sure you go to get the next job and they go, well, why were you?
Well, if you want to be professional and you want to have like references and shit like that, you're going to put in your 2 weeks and then say your goodbyes, finish out your work, and then leave peacefully.
That's what we're not getting in these shows. They give.
I feel like this is a weird coded way of us saying that he's unprofessional.
It's like he's giving us the notice and then he's just flashing his ass on the way out the door. That's what I feel like.
Or he's only taking half days or something because he don't give a fuck. It's like, I don't care about attendance points. Fuck it. Like, I'm leaving in 2 weeks. Yeah, who cares if I'm like, who cares if I'm late, who cares if I no call, no show on the last day? Who cares?
Not a fucking person.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're already on your way out. Your replacement has already been solidified. They already hired somebody else. I don't know. It's not the same thing, but But
So,
I gotta get leaving in a few minutes. So
okay, so let me end your section quick with ratings because we haven't talked about the ratings, and then we do predictions.
I will say one positive. I liked that scene when Huey and Butcher were trapped in the room, and that.
Oh, that was excellent. Yes, thank you.
That's the best scene of the episode.
Best part of the episode to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my best was Kevin, but I think you guys can agree.
Sam Jackson, sure,
valid.
Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson, I get it. Yeah, so it's not all.
You know,
bad.
I'm a Samuel L. Jackson whore, so I gotta give it to Kevin.
We get it, bad motherfucker. Yeah, everybody likes it. But
if we stop there, 10 out of 10 episode. If we had the Butcher scene and Kevin the Shark, I think we all be talking about this as one of the best penultimate episodes.
Yeah,
this
is
useless.
Yeah, this was gonna be a 4, but Samuel L. Jackson pushed it to a 5.
Wow, surprisingly, I'm gonna say mine because I'm in line with Church. 5 for me. With Samuel L. Jackson, same reason. Sam Jackson did some heavy listening and the Butcher scene, but other than that, everything else. And I'd say the very last 2 seconds of Kimiko's crying.
Yeah,
the emotions from the actress, like that was almost like we could talk about Emmy performance. Like she's carrying her back. Give that woman a massage because she's fucking carrying that whole end scene on her back. She was carrying all of it, and it's a fucking shame. And it pisses. And I'm gonna go on my feminist rant here. It pisses me off that the woman gets shortchanged because she's showing emotion and she's carrying out this whole scene on her back, and the man in the scene is doing nothing but dying, girl. And I'm telling you right now, I'm tired of this bullshit. Okay, the one scene the woman has a chance to shine, and the one scene, one scene she has a chance to shine, and they fucking undercut it. And we're talking about women need to be in more media. They need you got a powerful Kimiko holding Frenchie his last day, dying. The man she loves, right? I'm there. She gives that scream, and it hits me, folks. It hits me, chat. It hits me in my soul. But then I'm thinking about how the fucking patriarch is holding her back again because they set it up with the stupidest fucking story ever. So once again, a man and his inability to write comes in,
or lack of writing at all.
That isn't even there. There's no writing at all. Had that been a woman writer, girl, that scene would have played out so much differently. Hashtag justice for Kimiko.
I think you got a female writer for this last one though, so you may be in luck. Might have some good Kimiko moments. No, I'm serious.
No, that good.
Let me see. Her name's Judalina. Yep, that's a woman. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this has ever happened before, but I would give this episode a 5.
So we all are in agreement?
Wow. Not only are we in agreement, but PB doesn't give out 5s easily. Like he's given a ridiculous 6 to Batman, which I'll never understand.
I was going to give this episode a 6, and then we talked about it for an hour, and I was like, no.
Yeah, it's sad. This is actually, wow. I think Justin hasn't been here for all of them, but I think this is the lowest rated.
This is the lowest rated episode
that we've given to the boys.
Like we've been giving them some 9s and 10s and being like, oh no, they got it under control, and then it got dumb. Like
yeah, I would have had scores so much lower than you guys. Like especially like. Oh, like most of the episodes in between.
Right, See? I agree. So cold. I agree.
You couldn't help yourself.
That fucker strikes again.
Look. Here's the thing. Don't bring him up again. Damn it. Okay, fine. I'll say it again. Keep him.
That is the dumbest.
I'm distracted with his fun Knives Out movies. Though I like them. Keep doing those. More Knives Out. More, please. I like them.
Hey, honey, what do you think of Knives Out? Was that a fucking great movie? Didn't we love it?
Stick with the Knives Out. Keep him distracted so he doesn't touch Star Wars again. He's done.
Wait. Hold on. Justin, you gotta hear this for a second.
No, no,
Honey,
no.
just come over here. I'll turn off the camera. Tell him what you just told me because
No,
it's 100.
you reenact what I just said.
Okay, and I quote. She says, "People who like the Knives Out movies are."
What can I say? I like good old fun. I like smiling and laughing and clapping my hands at fun moments in movies. That's what going to the movies is all about, man. I like it. What can I say? It was entertaining. Keep it up. Do your own. This is what we say. Do your own original thing, and that's what he's doing. And I congratulate him on it. Good.
Hey, look,
go for it.
Justin, I give you credit. I will give you props for one thing. I do respect the doing your own thing, and I agree with you that statement 110%. Fuck up your own franchise. Leave other franchises alone.
That's it. That's all I ask. That's
Justin,
all I ask.
But before you leave, my question is, do you have any speculation for the series finale?
Yeah,
Everybody's
and let's
dead.
try to be excited, even though
They're going to have a huge body count, and they don't know what to do with it.
Who
So
survives then?
there's if they're smart, I think Soldier Boy makes it out. I don't know if the Deep is gonna die or not, but I kind of hope he doesn't.
So do I.
I kind of hope, but I'm probably gonna be disappointed in that regard. But then Huey and Starlight, if they don't both survive, I'm gonna curse this series as like the worst ever. Like just like no. I know they're not gonna have a happy ending, but like you're really gonna kill off one or the other. It's either they both live or they both die. But if Huey dies, so does this whole franchise. It's fucked. No. This franchise lives, breathes, and will die with Huey. Like I swear to you.
Anybody take you off who likes Phil Collins? Done.
Yeah, don't. But everyone's gonna die, and it's gonna feel like some are gonna feel like, oh, you just rushed to kill everybody at the end, in a bloodbath. You just rushed it. It's gonna.
I agree with Stone Cold Jeremy. If the Deep is the only survivor, I'll accept that too, because that would just be fucking.
I'll accept it. I'll allow it. But yeah, Homelander is probably going to die in a stupid way. I'm guessing he's going to die in a stupid way that's unsatisfying.
Have the last scene be the Deep looking over the ocean with like all of the sea creatures like looking back at him angrily. Everyone's dead. And he's just walking along the ocean.
And he has nobody to go to. Alone. He can't. There's nobody on land that he can go to. All of his friends are gone, and all of his animal sea friends hate him. And he's never allowed back, and so he has no place in the world. And I don't know. Maybe he hangs himself. I don't know.
God, that was dark.
I don't know.
The Deep hanging with a fin. Actually, I think we made a better ending.
Yeah, he's like he hangs himself with like a tentacle of an octopus
while looking at movies. He could be like watching movies of the Seven when they were in their glory days. And then he does that. He wraps the tentacle or a squid tentacle on a ceiling fan, and then kicks the chair over, and that's it. I don't know. Not only would that be funny, but it would be bleak and dark. I think Eric needs to fucking redo whatever ending he's got planned. Make this happen.
Yep. Well, we'll see.
Make a special episode. Just call it.
Yeah. Are you guys doing this at the same time next week? Same time?
Yeah, roughly.
Send me a link this time so I don't have to ask. All right. See you guys.
See ya. We'll send you the link. Just it's so unpredictable. So it's hard. So PB, what is your ideal ending?
At this point, Homelander wins. If you're telling me that they're doing a sequel show, nothing could go better than if Homelander wins and we're living in the beginning of a post-apocalyptic universe.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Like,
if you're trying to end the story so we have nothing to do with it, I don't know how they're going to get Soldier Boy out of his fucking capsicle tube again. Like, that motherfucker gets disabled all the time and gets put back in his tube. It's wild to me how much time he spends in his fucking tube. But
see you later, Stone Cold.
I hear a lot of people saying that they want Homelander to live as a human.
I think that would be acceptable. I could, and I see the groundwork.
The only way that he can live as a human is if Butcher dies first.
Or maybe they depower him. He's living as a human. Butcher comes and kills him.
Well, I think that would all happen in one instance. Like all of the major players are going to be in the same location by the end of the show.
Or like maybe Butcher thinks
the issue that we had with Game of Thrones, where all of the major characters were spread apart, and they're like, bring them together, bring them together, bring them together, bring them. Okay, we got them all together, good.
Yeah.
We don't have they're not as spread apart in this show. Like, they're all relatively close to each other inside of the United States of America. But they're all going to be in the same location come the end. And I'm not 100% sure that the virus isn't going to work. You could still get some virus to work. I'm not 100% sure that you can't put Homelander on ice.
I mean,
Soldier Boy on ice, you can put Homelander on ice.
Yeah, they could essentially have Soldier Boy and Homelander on ice.
And then what? Get them both put on ice, and then we can have the sequel series can be like Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen, where they resurrect Homelander.
Yep. Or Homelander's like the last option, and they bring him back.
I mean, I thought that we were going to see it, but I don't think that it's going to happen now. I thought we were going to see some invincible level destruction.
We've been talking about this for weeks, and
killing thousands of people. Just like, I mean, it still could happen in the final battle where they're in the city and they're just fucking shit up like Superman Zod style.
I see. So
I don't think we're going to get anything like that.
How I heard it was because of what they're setting up with this church thing. Is that he's going to realize people aren't going to love him the way he wants them to, and then he's going to go on his mass murder then. But see, that still doesn't make sense because either he's going to lose it in a building or a designated spot where they're all meet. But I don't think it's the level of destruction that we're talking about where it's going to be this grand scale. And once again, sorry to do this. I didn't think I'd do it this month, but referencing the comics, there was a grand scale to that final battle because all the soups took the White House, and it was the soldiers and the boys fighting what was left of the 7 at the time. And
well, they could still do that because he was in the White House. They could still do that if they wanted to.
I mean, but
it's one of those things where it's just gonna happen, and there's gonna be no, like, they're gonna start the next episode with the whole fucking White House surrounded by other random soups.
And then it'll be like, where did these soups come from? Like, because all of his main people he trusted or people he had through this whole season have been killed off for shock value, I assume. So he doesn't even have these side characters.
Zero people that he can trust.
So it's so weird because in the comics, he still had Maeve, he still had the Deep, he had A-Train and stuff like that. They were by his side as he was doing this. And then Maeve, like they did fucking 3 seasons early, Maeve turned on him in the comics. But in the comics, he killed Maeve. And she died saving Starlight. She pushed her in the elevator and then fought Homelander to the death. And he killed her. He did that to her eyes. Or he did the mountain.
Okay.
And but it's like with trying to throw people off and remix the deaths, they've made it so that they can't use that because Maeve's out of the story. She's gone. She's living happily ever after. Once again, showing favorite characters. So they wanted to give her a proper ending, but now you've taken that piece off the board. So even for me doing predictions, I don't even know if anything I could think of that logically works, I want to see, because it's like the things that are in my mind that make sense are still not very good. And don't get me wrong, we're not show writers. I mean, I write books and I know story structure and setup, but I didn't
We're
write
not
the fucking
morons
boys.
either.
So I, for me, I was so, I wish we could go back to episode 6. I was so much more excited at the end of that episode where we were like, and I think we gave it a 9, and we were like, oh shit, man, it's gonna pop off, like that end scene, the visuals. And it's another thing that pisses me off about the show. Like, PB, how do you have such an amazing episode 6, right? And just fucking throw all of that potential out in your very next penultimate. This is supposed to be the episode that gets us hyped. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm not very hyped, and I'm not very confident in the direction we're gonna take. I mean, like we said, we're gonna review every episode and take it on its own merits. But I maybe they're playing 4D chess, but I don't see the path to making the finale feel satisfying. And with all of this shit announced, it almost feels like a Walking Dead situation where Walking Dead is technically over and it ended, but nobody of importance fucking died and everybody got a spinoff. So it was like, was it really a final? Because the characters I gave a shit about got their own shows. So did we really resolve anything?
In that sense, it was a final in the sense that they split the characters up. Like, The Walking Dead is a story of this group of people, and now the group of people is split up. So we're no longer The Walking Dead, and we got, subtitle. What is going on over there?
Oh, nothing. I'm getting angry glares for something I may or may not have done. I did it.
You talked about the Patriots. You definitely did whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. I 100% did it.
If I get comments today, I'm going to kill you.
Dude, this might be the least excited I've ever been for the next episode of The Boys.
I got to be honest with you. I was more, even though we had a lot of complaints, I honestly, and it's sad, I think, The Punisher we rated higher, and we went off on a couple of things, but it was exciting. And coming off of The Punisher, I kind of felt...
The Punisher was definitely better than The Boys.
Which is crazy. The one-shot Punisher episode, I was pissed because I wanted more. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you're waiting for that click next. That's not coming. Where you feel like with that, you felt like, oh, now we're getting into the season or we're getting into the movie, and then it just ends. And, I mean, it worked. I'm hyped for the next Punisher thing, but watching The Boys, I get to the end of the episode and I'm just like I was caught in the moment of Kimiko crying. Great ending with the trailing off into the song as she's crying. Like, but when I stopped and I thought about it and we went to talk about it, it loses everything. So it's like even the end of the episode has no gotta help us emotional weight. It has no impact. So you're kind of left with a hollow feeling.
Now, interestingly, at the end of both of these episodes, I had essentially the same thought, but from the exact opposite side of the coin. Because the thought was, oh, that's it? And with the Punisher, it was, oh, that's it? Like, he just killed a guy. There's got to be a guy down the street he can go kill. Like, just keep watching him. Just keep fucking watching him. And then watching The Boys, I was like, oh, that's it. All right. Well, that didn't go very well, but I guess there's always next week. What happened to you, guy? Your computer die? And you're leaving the stream? Is it going to be just me? Streaming all alone. Oh, the lonely streamerness. I don't know. I don't even have anybody in the chat. The only person in the chat is me. I'm the only person watching the stream. And I'm on the stream. That's depressing. Okay, your picture showed up, but I don't hear anything. Like you got a serious fuck up going on over there.
I'm sorry.
Oh, he's back.
My computer decided that it was going to turn itself off, and it was just like log off, locked, and then just
Your
shut
camera is still off.
what?
Your camera is off, or blacked out, or something. There we go.
Did it come back?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so yeah, I'm with you with the Punisher. I was more angry because I was like, oh, we're starting now. You guys watch the beginning. You get my full no suit rant. But I was like, we're getting the suit, and then bam, he kills one guy. I was like, well, what about the dude down the street? I saw him like robbing the old lady. Or we keep going. With this, it's like, oh boy, I am not excited at all what is going on. Like, as we were getting closer and closer to the ending, and here's the thing, you knew Frenchie was going to die because the title of it is called The Frenchman, the Female, and the Man Called Mother's Milk, which is a direct nod to one of the issues of The Boys.
Oh, yay.
And yet, with that title, right, once again, it feels like a fuck you to people who know the comics, because it really serves no purpose except for being a cool, catchy title. But like, the whole thing was with the Frenchman angle, you would think they would highlight more Frenchie, because typically in these things you tend to highlight the character, and especially if it's like one of the main characters throughout the story that's been there since day one, you kind of do a whole thing leading up to like his inevitable death. Like, it's so weird, and it's like they dropped that structure to not hint us in that he was going to be killed, but it's kind of obvious in the beginning, especially when he has the moment with Sister Sage and he talks about how much he's in love with her. It's like, okay, you know Frenchie is going to die, but like, they don't do a lot of great work with him, and they don't make it. So it's like, what are you doing in the final episode? Because yeah, it's an hour long, but like, how are you going to have the deaths hit? Like, I think how they set up the deaths is going to be crucial too, because we could have these people that's one thing we didn't even talk about, right? With our predictions, we could have these people die, but is it going to have the impact that it's supposed to? That's the big, because we obviously didn't feel nothing for this. Like, Mother's Milk has a great moment. Would have been, I thought they were going to kill him when you get that one scene. And I think actually if they killed him during the confrontation, that would have been a good death to have there too, because he told that story, right? They literally were teed up for a perfect death that made more sense when he tells the story about helping people, and how fitting would have been to kill MM in that room, doing what he said he was going to do, which is kill the people and save people, right? That would have been a perfect time to kill that character.
So I did like this comment on the episode of The Boys. I just saw what the Punisher did with 45 minutes. Now impress me. I think that he was massively unimpressed.
Like, that's what I mean. It's crazy. The Punisher, that 20-minute sequence, whether we had our gripes or not, and like we said, if we didn't get the review 7, it was great. Just a few hiccups here and there, but a really good short. That 20 minutes of combat was more exciting and thrilling, and had so much, and even the emotional stuff had more punch than Frenchie's death scene, which is a shame, because as I will continue to say, Kamiko and that actress gave 110% in that scene. She fucking carries that on her back. And it's a shame that the actress is getting shortchanged, because the writers did a fucking terrible job setting up this death, which, from what I'm hearing from a lot of people, unless they're a well-known critic, have problems with the scene, but the people making videos, I don't know why they're being razzle dazzled, but they're like, oh, what an emotional moment. This might be the best boys episode. I saw someone put the best boys episode. What?
That's insane. That's insane.
That is. Were we watching the same thing? Did I miss a secret episode of The Boys? No, you don't. You get back here. You get back here. Hold on, what's it? You talk while I chase down the mystical universe.
Possibly the worst episode of The Boys that's ever been made. Just with it's all of the small things that happen in the episode that build up to me being like, okay, well, that didn't make sense. And while I'm sitting there thinking, well, that didn't make sense, they're trying to get some emotional payoff, but I'm not in the fucking moment because I'm sitting here thinking about all of the stupid shit that you've done the entire fucking episode. Like, if we could keep stuff just entertaining, like the scene with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, best scene in the whole fucking episode.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Well, I thought you said your favorite scene was with Kevin and Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, I said, remember, that was contending my number 1 and number 2, but I had to give
those are also my number 1 and number 2 scenes. These are entertaining scenes. There's no like overt action. Like there's no overt action until you get to the very end of the scene when Butcher rips. I don't remember what they said as
seismic or whatever,
or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember. It doesn't. When Jeffrey Dean Morgan gets ripped in half, like there's no action up to that point in that scene. It's just them sitting there chilling, talking. I mean, the only thing that I predict that I'm confident, and if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be pissed. I'm confident that Huey is going to tell us number 2 and number 1 because he only made it up to number 3 in his top 10 list.
I know we've been blue balled since the beginning. We've gotten it interspersed. I think this is the most we've gotten. And it says because he's mentioned this before, but he's never said his number 1. So yeah, and I'm gonna be pissed if they don't have a Phil Collins song playing somewhere in the final episode. I mean, come on, you can't tease us all these years with Phil Collins and not have a fucking.
I mean, I've watched so many people speculate on the show. It's going to be near impossible for them to do something that somebody out there hasn't speculated on.
Like this. Oh, so this and this is funny because I think LB when I bring this up, but this is the Pretty Little Liars dilemma where they were so focused on people not finding out the twist or not predicting who the overall arching A was going to be that they wrote something at the end so fucking ridiculous that even putting all the clues together all the years doesn't make sense. It was the same thing with Gossip Girl too. Like, who's Gossip Girl was the whole big thing, but when you find out who it is, it doesn't make any goddamn sense because of everything they've ever written. And so it feels like this. We've got to be so far away from what the comic ending is, and we'll throw these little things here and there, but we'll keep them guessing. And it's like especially in the age we live in today, the internet age, right? Is it even bad to be predicted? I mean, would it be so bad if someone does predict what your ending is going to be, but it makes logical sense and it's still good? Like, that doesn't necessarily mean you wrote a bad ending. You know what I mean? There's some psychos out there that are just, this is their whole life. They fucking figured you out. And it's about how you execute it.
They need to stop having Homelander say such reasonable things like ban nut milk.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he said that, I was like, I don't care about the rest of your platforms. That is something, being from Wisconsin, that I'm on board with. You can't milk a nut, so how in the fuck do you call it some type of nut milk?
Yep. That's the other thing too. Yeah. The reason it's like, at the end, to wrap this up, I just want the final episode to be good. I want us to come back, and we're not going to say I have a feeling we're not going to be sitting here and being like, yeah, they're God's gift to writing. Like, I don't think, but I want us to say, you know what? It could have been as bad as Game of Thrones, but it's not. That would be enough for me. Like, if we get to the ending and, you know, no matter how they wrap this up at this point, some shit's not going to make sense. We're going to just have to fucking make peace with that. The question is, how are they going to make the shit sandwich at least somewhat edible? Like, I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's gonna be interesting. It's late in the game. Man. And I don't know what they can pull off that would, let's say, satisfy me. Like, me personally, I just want it, even if I'm not satisfied, I just want it to be not a waste of our time, because at the end of the day, we watched Daredevil Born Again, and while that had lots of problems, and I even had some issues, we both had issues with the final, I don't feel like we wasted time. It felt cool talking about it. Invincible, same thing. We weren't blown away. My God, I've gotten such pushback in comments about it. Like, people thinking I hated it, but I just hated the back half and the confusion. We talked about that, but we still liked watching it. We enjoyed the journey all the way up there, you know. And Maul Shadow Lord might be top 10 so far. It depends on what else comes out. That's gonna, because I said it's wild. Nothing beat it so far. So the boys would have to do a fucking miracle throw for it to even crack my top 10 the way it's looking, because I don't know if I could even put the show on my top 10 list in a bottom slot, because it hasn't gone up. I mean, with Daredevil, it's gone up, down, and then kind of ended, let's say, up, mid-peak, you know, low peak, not bad. Whereas this show was like up and just fucking careened straight down into a fucking cliff.
It's extra disappointing when you can see them do a great episode and then they just give up. I don't know how else to put it.
There's been multiple episodes, and even in bad episodes, good moments, like strong writing, where it's like, why isn't the rest of the episode like, you literally broke my how did that happen?
They could have ended the series on the previous episode. That could have been the end. Like, we don't need to see the fallout per se, but as soon as you see Homelander get the V1, it's like, oh, and he got it from Soldier Boy, so obviously Soldier Boy is not going to be the reason that they kill him, because I heard somebody's theory was, oh, well, they're going to defrost Soldier Boy, and they're going to piss him off real bad with his PTSD song, like Winter Soldier style, like he can't help himself, and then they're going to hold Homelander in place while the beam goes off, and that's how they, turn him into a human.
That would be terrible.
That'd be not good.
That'd be...
I said, if you would have ended it after the last episode, been like, oh, Homelander won, boom, show over.
I mean, and then
if the whole purpose of the show originally, they made it feel like the purpose of the show was bringing down Vought, but then Stan Edgar explains to us what Vought is, and the show has exclusively been about killing Homelander for about 3 seasons.
Yeah, and even like Vought, Vought will come back, but even Vought in its current iteration has had its arc and done. So I'm going to be really curious. Let me just say, this doesn't get me jazzed up for the next episode, but it does make me still want to see how they're going to end it, just to see, just how are you going to finish this? You got an hour. My first thing is, don't start this off slow. I don't want no exposition. I think, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think we just need to get into shit going down. I think they need to
we wasted way too much
20-minute long fighting scene. Like, this is your final episode. Go
I
balls
don't think
deep,
it's
man.
going to happen, guy.
I'm saying that's what my hope, my prediction, that they're not going to fuck around.
It's my hope, but it's not my prediction.
I think that I'm going to maybe regret saying this, but I believe that they've been saving the budget, and I think that they're going to put a lot of time and they're going to put all of the budget we haven't seen throughout the series into the final fight.
Let's fucking hope so.
Because honestly, if you even think about the shit we've gotten this season, it's not been really as budget intensive as other things we've seen in season, just fuck episodes in different seasons have been more budgetly like, holy shit, man, I saw where the budget went. It's definitely this episode. So I'm hoping they save their money, their best writing tricks, their best fucking. I'm hoping they strapped on the big boy pants, and we're gonna get this episode of maybe it won't be the greatest, but we can say, okay, it at least redeems the season to where maybe I could put it at the bottom of my top 10 list, like in 9 or 10 somewhere, depending on what shows come out. Because right now, Daredevil is at least for me going to break into. Well, it depends because we got a lot of other good shows that have come out that I still have to watch. But I would say it'd be near the 6th category. And then Maul so far, spoilers, but I mean, something could theoretically come and dethrone it. But right now, it's my number 1 of this year. Like, it's fucking crazy how good that show is, which is what makes watching all of this even more frustrating. Because and Invincible will probably be in there too. I don't know if it'll be in my top 5 because I'm really bummed by the ending, but then looking consistently wise, it'll probably be somewhere in the 5. But like, I was hoping like it'd be Daredevil, The Boys, and Invincible, all of them, like, boom, taking up all them spots. And now watching it now, I'm like, if The Boys make it, man, it might be barely. Because we still got the rest of the year and other shows that are supposed to come out. And One Piece is in there. Like, I got a lot of other shows that I've watched that have come out where, like, dude, One Piece was close to my number 1. It was only because we watched Maul Shadow Lord that got dethroned. But the new season of One Piece, fucking better than anything I've seen done here. That's fucking wild. And just to save it for the fanboys, Stranger Things ain't even anywhere near on my list.
Oh, I'm so surprised.
I know you might be shocked at how much I've talked about how great that show is. It might actually cross boundaries and go into my top 10 worst movies, even though, because I don't do a top 10 worst shows. So I just might fucking throw it my top 10 worst movies, or I might just put the worst media of this because it's so bad. I feel like I gotta put it into something where I do like the worst of. So maybe it'll go in my top 10 movies. Because to be honest with you, I haven't seen very many bad movies, and I'm thinking I might just chuck it there.
I haven't seen very many movies. I feel like most of the movies that I've seen have been straight to DVD.
Oh, I've seen tons, man.
Like, I like the one with Batista and Momoa where they're in Hawaii. That one was good, The Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, see, that
and
might...
I just seen, what was it called? Balls Up with Mark Wahlberg and, the fat guy. Who's the fat guy from Cobra Kai?
Oh, yeah, Stingray.
Yeah,
but
he's Chris Farley's kid?
Yeah. Yeah, that dude, that guy, he's got talent, man. He's got talent. I could tell you, I wasn't too crazy about the movie, but I'm glad you reminded me. That was a movie I meant to talk about, but it slipped out of my mind because I've seen like 16 movies. So I've got a lot. And one of my best horror movies of this year, by the way, real quick, and I'm going to have a review when this comes out. Get your tickets now for this new movie coming out. I'm taking the Unicorn to see it. This brand new horror movie called Obsession. I got to view it earlier. this might be one of the best horror movies. Fuck, I'm not even going to say of this year. I'm going to say that's come out in the past 20. Just a real bare bones synopsis. It's about this guy who likes someone from his work, and he finds this thing called a wishing willow. And, you know, not putting much stock, he wishes that this girl would fall madly in love with him. And you would recognize the actress because she's in the fucking Supergirl show. She was one of the characters. You see her face, you'll know who it is. She was in Supergirl. She was one of the main characters in the show. PB, I did not know her acting because I did not like Supergirl. I did not know her acting was that great, but she plays the best crazy bitch I've ever. What this movie is so terrifying. They don't do jump scares and shit like that, but it's so terrifying because this girl is the epitome of be careful what you wish for. And there's a lot of interesting mechanics too. Like there's a little number where he calls when he realizes his
Cool,
wish
you
might
should talk about this in your review of that movie.
But needless to say, everybody go watch Obsession. I'm pegging it as it's going to be the best horror that comes out this year. Unfortunately, Terrifier doesn't come out till next year, so that'll be on the next year's list, I'm sure. But we got a date for that, and it's going to be in New Year's 2027. So guess what it's probably going to be about? Art's going to be slaying for the new year. Wouldn't it be great if the ball drops and he decapitates someone like in Times Square or something? Can we do Art Takes Manhattan? Anyways, it's not here or there. But thank you guys for watching. We'll be talking about The Boys, and hopefully we'll be positive. Season final. Yay. Are you excited, baby? I'm excited.
I'm gonna go watch Punisher again.
I feel like we gotta watch that. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Punisher, and then you should watch the show, PB. You should watch the Punisher show.
Well, I was gonna rewatch the movies.
God damn it. I'm gonna get you to watch the fucking show. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, hype, all the YouTube bullshit.
Oh, there's a thing. I can put a thing on the screen. Where did it go? I gotta click on the right thing. It'll make people like and subscribe if I can find my way to it. We're almost there. Oh, here it comes. Yay! Like, subscribe, ding a bell.
Yeah, all the YouTube things. Thank you very much. We appreciate having you here. Check out our review will be next week, and maybe with Justin, we will do the series breakdown, and we'll talk about not only episode 8, but the season in general, and we'll see if the last episode saves it or not. I'm guessing probably not, but we'll talk about the final boys and this emotional journey that we've been on and our ratings thus far. Anyways, as always, remember, there is only one rule here in the Fandom Zone.
Eric Kripke doesn't know how to end his show.